I'll start with basketball, and if we got extra time, I could talk about MLB and the All-Star.
All right. Oh yeah, we got that.
Mm-hmm.
You talking about the Georgia shit?
Yeah, do you want us to start off with that?
We don't have to.
With what?
But yeah,
They moved the All-Star game out of Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I think we should start there though.
Because it's the only other thing that don't connect. That's the only reason why. But it could take up a lot of time. That's the only reason why I wouldn't mind.
Because we in Georgia.
but we are
Okay.
Boss man,
I see y'all in so long.
bro, it's been a year. It's been like a solid year.
Yeah, we on there, guys.
You said we live this time.
Oh, I was about to say some stuff about it.
Yeah, you be right there.
Ooh, I can smell that from here, bro. It smells spicy. That smells spicy.
Yes, sir. How you been, bro?
Good, man. How about your vacation?
It's good.
Where'd you
Much
go?
needed. Savannah, Virginia, and DC.
Oh, so you was like bouncing around.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. So you made a okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
We was in Savannah for like 2-3 days, and then we went to Virginia for about 4 or 5 days. Then we went to DC.
Yeah, they were missing you.
Pull your microphone thing down.
Oh yeah. Make sure you're talking into it.
Yeah.
I was breathing hard because I ran in here, so I was trying to get out.
He said he was.
Oh,
I was trying to catch my breath first.
cool. Yeah, that's fine. Just when we talk. All right, let's roll. This is the place where sports opinions collide. Dead in sports. I'm your host, Kenneth B. Inge. Joining me on the show. Everybody's here except B. But he's back, y'all, live and in person. Shelton J.
How you doing, man? Glad to be back home in the house.
Yeah. You know what's missing?
I know the Scully.
Yeah.
I thought you was gonna bring the Scully for the first. This is the first appearance you come back.
That's Scully like his Zemo
Hey.
mask.
I just wear Scully in the
That's
house.
his cap shield.
Yeah.
Oh man.
FIFO 24/7 is
What
back
they do, what they do.
after a 2-week absent hiatus. You know,
A little sabbatical.
vacation. Yeah, vacation.
A little
Yeah.
sabby.
Well deserved, I'm sure.
Yes, sir.
And Nikki Duce.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I came from a little vacay a little bit too.
Oh, yeah.
Sure did.
Everybody vacation except me.
Hey, you the main one that need to take one. Shit. We just doing this for shits and giggles. You deserve it.
Yeah, but yeah, man, we all back in the studio, man. You know, I guess B will show up, maybe. He's doing that in gaming right now. But yeah, I guess if B pop up, we can talk about that Baylor game. Because you know he's
Oh yeah.
yeah, you know, he's our basketball,
I'll
college
say-
basketball.
Yeah, I'll say that
expert.
for later then.
So yeah, we can hit that then. But yeah, man, let's get into it.
Just the Baylor game too.
I mean, hey.
We'll start off with some other news. We don't usually cover much on other sports outside of basketball and football because of y'all. Y'all the ones that told us to stop talking about this shit. But we got to address this. The MLB has moved the All-Star game out of Atlanta, mostly because of the voting laws that recently have been passed as far as in the state of Georgia. They've become a little bit more restrictive to the citizens of Georgia, mostly particularly the minorities. But yeah, they moved the All-Star game out of Atlanta, and I believe they moved it to Colorado. That's what I saw. I thought they were maybe doing it at Milwaukee because of the
Oh
Hank
yeah, I
Aaron.
think you're right. Yeah, it's like Denver somewhere.
Yeah, I think it's in Denver. I thought they were going to do it to Milwaukee because of Hank Aaron, because they said Atlanta said that they were trying to recognize Hank Aaron, you know, because he passed this year. But
Atlanta ain't trying to recognize any Negroes after this.
not after this. But my question to y'all is: do y'all agree with the decision by the MLB?
I do. I do. I
do
thought it
too.
was a really strong, powerful move by them. Very reminiscent of what happened in North Carolina
Mhm.
when they passed that bill.
Yep.
Um, I was, even though I'm proud of the move, I was hoping it was a move done because they thought it was the right thing to do. Come to find out that it was at the urging of corporate sponsors.
Delta, Coca-Cola,
Hmm.
and I think there was another big time sponsor.
Yeah, who were under fire, of course, by local activists here in Georgia, saying that they should do something, say something, et cetera, et cetera. And they did. The corporate sponsors issued statements, and then of course the MLB decided to move it out. Why I think this is interesting and that the corporations got involved is that I don't have enough data right now, but the feeling that I'm getting is that we may be in for turning of the country where you see corporations start to see value in these type of moves. They can see money attached to these type of moves, which is how and why they make certain decisions that they make. Um, we know what happened in North Carolina. We see this happening here. The whole Black Lives Matter thing that took place, where they all jumped behind that movement, that social movement, and so I'll be curious to see what happens moving forward. The Republicans are pissed. Mitch McConnell came out and accused Democrats of and these people of bullying, corporate
Brian
bullying.
Kemp came out and said some bullshit too.
Yeah, which interesting choice of words considering what they're doing. Basically, the Republicans are choosing the voters. The voters are not choosing them. As the saying goes. But I like it. I thought it was a strong, powerful statement by a majority white viewership organization to say no, we're not standing for this, and we're gonna move, and that's it.
Yeah, I like it because I always want to know like what's the resolution, right? Like what's the long term play, and we're never gonna change nothing overnight, but where do you hurt people the most? Is in their pockets, and that's exactly what they did, and that's what they had to do, because what what else could they have done? Issue a statement? That's not good enough. You have to have some type of action, and this was the best action that they could have taken. So I love the fact that they did something. It hurts them in their pockets, and the people in power, they're gonna say and do whatever the hell that they want to say and do. And if they want to stand on, oh well, this is how it is gonna be, and da 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 da, and they can't really see it for what it is, what they're trying to do, or admit to it, it's not going to change right now. But if we continue to pull out of events in Georgia and let them know we're not supporting it monetarily at all, then that's how you make change happen. So I'm with it. I'm good with it.
I am as well. Change comes with money, and money speaks. And the fact that, like you said, Ken, is showing you the power of the black dollar.
Mm-hmm.
That corporations are stepping up and saying, "Hey, we can't do this no more." So otherwise, we still continue on the same trend. The same things will be happening. Now you're seeing people step out and saying, "This is not right."
Mm-hmm.
So, this is a powerful time right now.
Yeah, I think you, especially with Atlanta being such a well-known black city, I'm not surprised Delta and Coca-Cola was like, all right, we gotta. Most of the employees is black. They was gonna have a whole fucking riot or a fit if they didn't support, whatever the MLB was doing as far as their decision. Um, and I always found this weird throughout the whole history in America, like how racism stops money, which is crazy because America's known as the most capitalistic country in the world. But racism still prevents motherfuckers from doing shit or allowing shit to happen. So I'm glad to see that corporations are like, nah, this is not good for business. Point blank, period. Grant, I'm not going to say these corporations are morally, on the right side. And I don't give a fuck about that because most likely they're not. They're doing this for the dollars.
Yep.
But I'm happy to see that green is the only color that matters in this situation because that's the only thing that really moves shit.
Yeah, and I think people have to understand that money, just as you said, it moves a lot of things in this country, and to the point where the Republicans, I think Mitch McConnell was threatening corporations, was like, okay, well, we'll punish you guys if you continue along this path, which I find kind of ironic because most of their money come from lobbyists who are funded through the corporations. So if the corporations are making the decision and they pull their money from you, then what do you do?
He just
Because-
talking shit.
Yeah,
Right.
he is. It's it's an idle threat because if they continue, if they do their projections and they look at this and say, our money is in social activism and being morally good as a company, the appearance of it, because Nick is right, they don't do anything because it's all about dollars.
Right.
What are they going to do? Because the money is no longer in the politicians changing laws and giving them tax breaks in order to maximize their profits. The money is going to be the increase in revenue. And I wonder, because remember when Nike did this sort of thing a while ago, and their revenue, Colin Kaepernick, they backed Colin Kaepernick.
That's what it
Revenue
was.
shot through the roof.
Yep.
And so if you're a corporation, you're looking at that like, oh shit, maybe if I do this, maybe I'll get additional dollars as well coming through my company.
But doesn't it seem like it should just be common sense? The majority of people feel a certain type of way, so just pander to that feeling, and then you'll be successful. At least, even if it's in the short term,
Right.
like
It does, but I wonder if these corporations felt that there was more money in the white dollar, even though there was data and analytics to kind of say the opposite of that. It's just like if you have
I wish I could see my face through this.
yeah,
mask.
if you have this inherent systemic racism that's ingrained in you, it's going to be hard for you to see that.
Mm-hmm.
But over time, as the world continues to become a little bit more darker, and the threat of white people being a minority in 30 years continue to play out, they have to, as they look and the CEOs look at their long-term projections, like where we're going to be in 15 years, they're going to have to start planning for this stuff. So, maybe that's part of the decision. I don't know, but nevertheless, it was a powerful statement that they did, and I rock with it, regardless of the intent. What up, B?
What up? What up? What up? What's going on?
Nothing much.
Not much. I was trying to get everybody's thoughts on the MLB's decision to move the All-Star game out of Atlanta because of the voting laws.
Oh, I mean, I think, from when I came in, a lot of y'all touched on what I felt already. Is, I mean, at the end of the day, it's all about that green. If you want to hit them where it hurts, hit them in that green pocket, because that's what's gonna get them able to switch stuff up or try to change stuff, or either try to act like they're gonna change stuff up. If you hit them in their pockets, white folks don't like when you mess with their money, man. So if you mess with that bread, that's definitely a factor. So I mean, it's kind of dope that they're doing it. I don't know what's the laws like in Colorado. Is it like any different, or is it the same here in Georgia? Is it like a lateral move? Are they going somewhere where they can actually help out, the minority, black and brown people? Don't know. But yeah, I mean, I think that's dope, man. I think that I'm glad that the sponsorships for this All-Star game is pulling out. It's not like dealing with this as well. So I think it was a dope move.
I think there's only 14 black people in Colorado, so I don't. think...
I
You
think
don't think it's a lot of brown and black people over there anyway?
No, they ain't. Yeah.
well, yeah, I'm glad we're all on the same page with that. So we'll see how, what news comes out of this as far as within Georgia. We'll keep y'all updated on that. But yeah, let's move to the NFL before we hit. There's a lot of basketball talk we're gonna get to, so don't worry. But there was also some big trades that happened in the NFL just recently. Again, the NFL draft is April 29th, which is the last Thursday of April, I believe. So it's like 3 weeks away from this upcoming Thursday. And there was a huge trade made with the New York Jets and the Carolina Panthers. The Jets traded away Sam Darnold, the third overall pick, 2 draft classes ago, I believe. For 3 picks from the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers gave up a 6th-round pick in this year's draft and a 2nd and 4th-round pick in the draft of 2022. And the Jets, all they had to give up was Sam Darnold. So, first question I got is for Shelton, since he's the big Panther fan here on the show. Who's the clear winner in this trade?
The Jets, by far, to me. The Jets. It's not a question.
Oh my goodness!
It's not a question who's the winner.
Not a
Let
question.
me ask you something. Hold on.
Mhm.
Is your side gig you Teddy who the quarterback?
Teddy Bridgewater.
Bridgewater.
You Teddy Bridgewater marketing person or something?
You know what? I don't care about Teddy. I wanted to. I knew that we were going to get a shot at Trey Lance. We were going to get a shot at Justin Fields. One of the two is going to be
Where you
available.
drafting at? What number?
8. One will be there. And you know why one will be there? It's very unfortunate, but it happens all the time. For some reason, from bowl season, after all these games are played, to draft day, black quarterbacks drop in the draft. No matter what. No matter what. If you look through the history, every now and again
Not
we get
Cam. Cam ain't dropped.
Cam didn't drop. No, I was gonna say every now and again we get one that sticks for the most part. But if you look at Lamar Jackson, he did all that stuff he did in college, but all of a sudden he ain't got no arm no more. You know what I'm saying? Who else we can name? We can name a bunch of those guys.
I mean, Watson dropped, Patty dropped, but Patty wasn't on nobody's radar for real like that. But Watson did drop.
Watson dropped. All those guys performed, but even you look at Kellen Mond. Kellen Mond didn't do nothing great necessarily, but he did more than Zach.
Did he sit out?
No, he played.
He played. Okay.
He did more than Zach.
Zach Wilson.
It's not even close. But here we're all enamored with Zach. Like it's a great. He's just white. Let's keep it real.
I don't mind when black QBs or like when certain quarterbacks who I know are better than these other ones drop, because that means you're going into a better situation. That means that the organization is clearly delusional and foolish for not recognizing the talent that you are. So I don't mind if Fields goes to the 49ers or Denver. You know what I mean? Because those are organizations that have proven that they can do things with talent. Now with this trade specifically, I think actually the Jets won.
They did.
The Jets won.
Why did the Jets win?
Because I don't give Sam Darnold ain't shit to me.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold to me is a bust. I think the media, for some reason,
they're enamored with him.
They love this kid for some reason. I don't know if he got naked pictures of somebody. I don't know if he's well connected. But this kid literally hasn't shown me shit. Granted, he's been in a horrible situation. That's why he was drafted 3rd overall to a bad team. But I'm sorry. I don't see when you're when you pick top 5, those are Hall of Fame caliber players.
Correct.
They're supposed to be putting on a yellow jacket at the end of their careers. And so far I haven't seen him be able to elevate his team. So him going to Carolina is just like it's a lateral move. I mean, he's got a better coach, more weapons, but we'll see what happens. But the Jets are stockpiling picks because they have so many holes they have to fill. This is the best quarterback draft within the next couple years.
Right.
So you might as well get a QB now. Let him play out there, see what he can do. He's still on his rookie deal, and then get all his talent next year. Because they got like hella first-round picks over. They got like 4 first-round picks over the next 2 drafts.
So I honestly like this move for both teams, because like you said, Nick, the Jets are stockpiling draft picks, and that's what they have to do. There's so many holes, you're not going to be able to fill that in free agency at a high level. You got to be able to develop some of these guys. So I like the draft picks. I also like it for Carolina because they needed a quarterback, and giving up a 6-round. How many 6-round picks technically make the roster? Right, like you're giving up a 6-round pick this year for a guy that was taken 2nd or 3rd overall just a matter of years ago.
That's a steal.
That's a steal. In addition to a 2nd-round pick and a 4th-round pick, the 2nd-round pick hurts a little bit.
Huge.
It hurts, but that's the gamble that you take for taking a guy like Sam Darnold. That's just the risk that comes with it, right?
But people, what is a guy like Sam Darnold? That's the lowest rated.
We don't
in the
know.
NFL.
We don't know yet.
It's been 3 years.
No, but the Jets are so bad, and I've talked about it over these years that the Jets. It didn't matter who the hell you put back there, outside of Michael Vick, Patrick Mahomes, maybe Lamar Jackson. They can be running for their like. It's impossible to succeed there. And then who was their coach? Adam Gase. Come on, man. Come on, man. Look, and I'm not saying I'm not a Sam Darnold apologist. I'm not saying that this man is a top-tier franchise quarterback. What I'm saying is we cannot truly evaluate who the hell he really is. And it hasn't been fair to him. And I understand professional sports is not fair.
They are.
But we don't know who the real Sam Darnold is yet.
Yeah, we do. Because he was the same thing in college. He was a turnover machine in college. He's a turnover machine in the pros. He's always hurt. He ain't never done nothing better than being the worst quarterback in the league. So that's all I need to know. He's done it 3 years. We had 3 years of the same thing. Whether he was on a bad team, good team. That's where he was drafted.
But
That's what he showed me.
But they're a top 3 team for a reason. They're extremely devoid of talent. I could say that roster probably has the least amount of talent in the NFL.
I agree, but he's a part of that least talent. He's in the least. This guy was overrated. He was overdrafted.
I agree with that. Which is why I have low expectations for him in Carolina. But however, for the value of his draft capital, it was a steal for Carolina. And if they hit on him, then all that giving up a second. Most teams to get a franchise QB will give up their first 3 picks.
Yep.
Point blank period.
I just look at my number 2 pick last year. I think his name is Jeremy Chin, whatever his name is. My second round draft pick last year at Carolina. He's a hybrid safety linebacker. Rookie of the year. This guy's all over the field. That second round pick for Carolina meant a lot. 6th round pick, I don't mind giving.
But a QB is always.
This is my first time ever hearing of this guy.
What's that? Look him up.
No, I believe
he was a
you.
monster.
I just never heard of him.
He was a monster, and this guy was drafted out of Southern Illinois, I think, or some little small school. But the guy balled out. This dude was balling. He scored two touchdowns in that early Carolina game where he recovered a fumble. I think he recovered 2 fumbles or something. Scored 2 touchdowns. Had a great season for a rookie, and he was the MVP of the defense for Carolina last year. But anyway, my point is that second round pick is what hurt me the most. I don't agree with, like I said, Sam Darnold to me hasn't shown me anything. Once again, same thing. When I look at quarterbacks, y'all know how I feel about the color divide. I feel like because he's white, he gets more opportunities and more excuses. That man was black, he'd already been out.
Probably, but what about you don't have faith in the head coach?
I do. I think that they're good coaches, but you can do the same thing with Teddy. Teddy had 20 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year. What I'm saying is,
Teddy's hit the ceiling though.
Teddy, yeah, he did, but Teddy was mediocre last year. He was mid at best.
But
Teddy has a water pistol.
But here's the
that's
thing.
his issue.
If he was able to do that with Teddy, and Sam has more talent and is younger, imagine what he could do with Sam. If the problem with Sam Darnold was the Jets.
But see, that's the thing. We assume he has more talent. We hadn't seen it. But even in college, he didn't show it.
No, I give you again. I agree that he's overrated. But the thing about the reason why I say it's a steal is because of he's still on his rookie deal. This is going into his 3rd or 4th year.
Yeah, going into his 4th year.
4th year.
But
so you still get that. You get that 5th year option, and then you can franchise him if you want to keep if you still need to see more room or improvement. That's at least 3 draft class.
See you don't franchise him if you need to see more.
No, I'm just saying. I'm saying at worst case scenario. That's at least 3. To get more talent, so you don't have to draft at that position and waste draft capital.
The only reason to franchise this guy is if he comes out, balls out, they make the playoff this year. But like I said, I just don't see. I think it was a panic move. They were scared because all these teams were moving up in the draft. I think that scared them with the teams jumping in the draft. So they figured we got to make a move at quarterback. So instead of drafting one, we're just gonna sign somebody. So that's what I saw it as, a panic move. I ain't like it. Even if it pans out, I just don't like him.
How you gonna say even if it pans out, you don't like it?
I want to be wrong.
That's he just want to.
Don't sound like it.
What I'm saying is I still would have felt the same way. Like I would have been wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. But I don't like it. I don't like it. Well, we still could draft Justin Fields.
I was gonna say let me ask. Let me get Manny's thoughts on this, since he's the other guy who's representing the team in this trade. What's your thoughts on this Jet trade?
He owned the Jets, don't he?
Is he with us?
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, cool. I mean, it's an expected move. I'm cool with it because you finally turn the page. You know what I mean? We don't longer talk about it anymore. It's over and done with as far as, are they going to keep Sam Darnold, or are they going to draft a QB? I mean, up to really yesterday, there was a lot of rumors that they would draft a quarterback and keep Sam Darnold. I didn't really buy that, but it is what it is. As far as the thoughts on the overall trade, from an overall perspective, from the Jets, I think it's a good move because you finally get to turn the page on the Sam Darnold era. He was a victim of circumstance in some parts. In some parts, he has not played up to what I thought his potential would have been. So I think it's a double faulted issue there. I think that the Jets failed him in some ways. I mean, you can't give a young quarterback just no talent. I don't care who you are. I don't care how bad of a quarterback you may end up being. You got to at least give the guy something to work with. And the Jets really didn't give him anything to work with besides what? Maybe washed up Le'Veon Bell. I mean, that's just not enough. That's not conducive to having success for that guy. And then on top of that, you throw him with the worst coach, probably in the history of the NFL, one of the worst coaches in the history of the NFL.
Damn.
I just don't see how that's conducive to success. Now, to Shelton's point, he has not played well. He has not answered the bell. He has not played to the level of a third overall or a second overall pick or a third overall pick. Yeah, he was third overall pick. I'm tripping. He has not played up to that potential. He just hasn't. I mean, got to be fair. He's shown flashes. He's shown moments of brilliance. Like, he had a game against Green Bay his rookie year where he matched Aaron Rodgers, like throw for throw. You know what I'm saying? So he's had moments, but it just hasn't been consistent. It hasn't been when you go to the game. If you, as a Jet fan, when you go to the game, every week, every home game, you don't feel confident that you know what you're going to get out of Sam Darnold. And that's
Was
the
that,
problem.
hey Manny, was that before or after his arm died? Because his arm did die at some point in there. Or was it before or after this man
last
said
year, honestly, bro, I don't even know. I think last year was just like, I don't know if it was just like a dark cloud.
This man said, I'm seeing ghosts out there. Y'all remember that? There's two things I remember from Sam Darnold that'll stick out in my mind. One
is mono.
Three things. One is
How
mono.
How you over 18 and get mono?
Mono,
bro, like
saying you seeing ghosts and getting tripped up by nobody running 80 yards. I'll never forget that.
The worst things that you can imagine happen to a young quarterback happened to Sam Darnold. Like, the fact that you have Adam Gase as your head coach, the fact that you have no talent around you, mono, seeing ghosts out there, like literally the worst things that you, like, if you could script a movie about how to be a bad quarterback and how to create a situation to create a bad quarterback, like, this would have been it, right? So yeah, I think the Jets failed him, and I think, to a point, Sam Darnold hasn't lived up to the expectations yet. Now, from the Carolina perspective, I kind of agree with Shelton that I feel like it was a panic move in a sense, because they saw that all these teams were moving up. There was no way Atlanta was going to trade. I never bought that Carolina's going to trade with Atlanta for the fourth pick. Why would a division rival in Atlanta help you get your next potential franchise quarterback? Like, that's never going to happen. That's just not happening. I still think they could have probably traded up. And honestly, I still think they're probably in a position to get a quarterback. Like, from everything you read, Atlanta's not picking a quarterback at 4, right? And obviously Cincinnati's not picking a quarterback, and Miami's not taking a quarterback. Detroit maybe. So, and if John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan make the dumbest move of the century and draft Mac Jones over Justin Fields might fall to you at 8. So why did you make this move? You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see Denver making this move because Denver really was in a box in the sense that if Carolina, if a quarterback drops all the way down to Carolina can snatch him up. I could see Denver. I could see even Washington doing something like this. But Carolina, it did kind of feel like it was a panic move. But hey, if it works out, they look very smart. So it's a good move. It's a good challenge. It's a good risk for them to take. I mean, realistically, Teddy Bridgewater is limited in what he could do long term. Like, he's a good option to have. Like, I like Teddy Bridgewater. I think he's better than I think people give him credit for, but I don't think he's a long-term answer at the position. Like, I don't think you're going to sit here 10 years from now and say, yeah, Teddy Bridgewater was a Super Bowl winning quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. So it's a good risk for them to take, but it's a trade that's incomplete right now.
Yeah. You were speaking of the Falcons. I did see a report that they're open to trading the 4th overall pick, which I think would be a bad move. I think if you can get Justin Fields at 4, that's a steal.
But they're not
especially he's homegrown.
I feel you, but they're not going to do it because of the money on Matty Ice's contract and how long you would have to wait for Justin Fields to play just doesn't make sense from a draft capital perspective.
But when's the next time you're gonna pick 4th?
I don't.
No, I understand that, but you're gonna have to keep Matty Ice at least 2 years.
And hold on, wasn't there a team last? Yeah, Indy paid Jacoby Brissett and what's his name who just retired? Phillip Rivers. Like, they combined like $50 million in cap space.
Different situation because Phillip Rivers was literally on his last leg. Matty Ice is still middle of the road quarterback.
I just think it's Atlanta's not being. I think Atlanta is afraid to move past the Matt Ryan era. I think that's what it is because I think they could. Where there's a will, there's a way. You can't tell me that you can't draft. And I get everything you're saying, people. Like from a strategy standpoint, it doesn't make sense because you're tying. It doesn't make sense from that value. But I would make the argument that I think all of us could agree you may at best maybe have a year to 2 years left of Matt Ryan at prime level.
True, but it doesn't like this move doesn't make timeline sense. And
Well,
what I mean by that is that where Matty Ice is, right? And think about where this is coming from. This is coming from the person that said I'd blow this shit up 2 years ago. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been said that. But when you look at the real financials and the implications of cap penalties, right? Because if you move Matty Ice, I think personally there's other big names on this roster you got to move to. Only because it makes more sense at that point to retool with young talent that's cheap that you don't have to pay, right? So to me, Julio, if I draft Justin Fields, Julio's gone too.
I wouldn't do that. It's.
Yeah.
I think you're over. You're putting too much on Matty Ice.
Mhm.
First of all, the nigga was there and they a top 5 pick, so it ain't like he doing that much to make you like, oh, this is a middle of the pack quarterback.
Look,
my thing is this: you keep a nigga, you draft Justin Fields, keep him on the tuck for a year, just
You
like
do.
how they did Mahomes,
Just
and
like
then
they
you
did
start him.
what I would do and what Atlanta's gonna do is two different things.
No, I agree. I'm just saying like that. What you're saying is what I feel like most media pundits would argue, and I'm just like that makes no fucking sense.
To me, and that's what I'm saying. What I would do, coming from a person saying 2 years ago, I get rid of this guy, right? I would have been got rid of him. Matty Ice wouldn't have been on my roster already. But what Atlanta's gonna do is that they're gonna move.
So you'll
on
be
from-
shocked if they took a quarterback.
Oh, 100%. 100%.
And that's so crazy that because anytime you get a chance to draft a franchise quarterback,
You should do it.
you got to do it.
You
If
should
you
do
got
it.
the fourth pick in the draft,
Unless you got like Aaron Rodgers.
yeah,
or Tom Brady.
that's the only time.
That's-
And even they did it. Even they did it with Love. They drafted
Well,
Love in the first round.
They fucked up.
I can't say that.
Well, hold on. I want to get B's thoughts. You was about to say something.
No, I was just saying. I mean, yeah, I think it'd be smart. I get FIFA what you're saying about the contract situation with Matt Ryan, but get Justin Fields, man. Let him. He's homegrown. Let him sit for a year or two because we all know that Matt Ryan is pretty much on his last little few legs.
Correct.
So groom him. That's the smart thing to do. But I mean,
Yes.
from a financial standpoint, I definitely get what FIFA's saying because Matty Ice got that contract, got that big contract, so it's kind of hard to just. I don't know. I would like for them to get Justin Fields just because he's homegrown and I mean he's shown in this pro day that the man can throw. I mean I know it's definitely different when you got pressure up on you and everything, but no, I think they should do it. I mean Green Bay did it because we knew that Brett Favre was on this last few little legs.
Correct.
So I don't, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why Atlanta won't do the same thing, but different franchises.
And how many years did Aaron Rodgers sit? Was it 3?
It was like,
two.
I want to say 3.
No, it was like
I
3.
thought it was
Oh.
3. I thought
Yeah, it was
years.
like 3
He was
years.
drafted in 05. He played in 08.
Correct. And see,
3
you've
years,
forgotten
yeah.
about him. That's what I'm saying. So that's why I say even Love is not a bad idea. You draft a quarterback that can learn behind one of the greats because they're not going to be there forever. They're not going to be
They're
great
not.
forever. Matt Ryan is an amazing leader. That's the one thing I got because I went to training camp a couple times and I saw him as a leader more than anything else. He led men. I don't know if you saw him on Hard Knocks. He did the same thing there. This guy is probably one of the greatest leaders in football. But his playing, he's never been that great, to be honest with you. But he was the best replacement for a guy like a Michael Vick, for example. Justin Fields is that next wave. You bring him in, let him learn from Matty Ice, because I know Matt would teach him. That's his personality. That's who he is.
He already got paid, so he ain't got no reason to be
Yeah,
mad.
yeah. He ain't gonna trip. Be like, this guy, we know Justin Fields can play. We've seen him do it. He did it on the field. He did it in the games that count. He played against Trevor Lawrence head to head and kicked his butt all over the field. He just did it. Clemson was great. And he kicked Clemson's butt. It wasn't even close. You know what I'm saying? And we know he can play. The big moments don't mean anything to him. And I see a lot of people saying they don't trust Ohio State quarterbacks. I get it. But, he's a Georgia guy, to be honest. And the only reason he went to Ohio State was because he couldn't get on the field at Georgia. because he was better than the
You
guy in
can't-
front of
you
him.
can't trust
he has character issues. I don't know if y'all heard that.
Right.
That's what
right.
Justin
Yeah,
Fields.
I saw what you posted when you posted in the chat, Ken.
Yeah, you got character issues. Can't bring him here. We don't want that here.
That's crazy because you would think
Black.
just based off
that's
what
his
Sheldon
character
said.
issue. He's black.
Mm-hmm.
His character issues. He's black. That's why.
Yep.
All right.
I mean, it depends on the quarterback, man. So it depends. Jordan Love is one. If you have a quarterback, I mean, Aaron Rodgers. Of course, we didn't know Aaron Rodgers was going to be Aaron Rodgers. So obviously, in hindsight, Green Bay looks.
Yeah, we knew that.
I mean, what? Yeah, people, I mean, Aaron Rodgers had a high upside though because people
had a high upside.
Remember,
but
people
I
were
don't
so
think-
shocked that he dropped. Remember, they were just like, "Well,
Yeah,
Aaron
people were
Rodgers still sitting
shocked,
there?"
but I don't think anybody really believed that Aaron Rodgers
I
would
don't
turn
know,
out to
man.
be.
Yeah, by
The way they
year
was-
two.
the way they was acting on draft night, they was like,
Yeah,
Well,
they-
for the value,
but-
like
yeah.
he was rated as a top 10 pick, and then he drops to the end of the first round. So yeah, from that perspective,
it
you
was
know
it
what I'm
was the
saying?
same
Yes,
thing.
but I don't-
He had upside and he had the intangibles, but he
Jordan
still hadn't
Love, I
performed.
don't think only Green Bay looked at Jordan Love that way because I saw Jordan Love play. I was like, I don't think this is a guy you replace.
I
Aaron
think that
Rodgers
about
with,
Zach
but, hey,
Wilson.
We'll see.
I think about that, but everybody outside of Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, and maybe Trey Lance, everybody else is a wash for me. I think all
so
these other
too.
motherfucking quarterbacks. The only reason why I like Mac Jones is because he sounds like Mike Jones. That's sorry.
If he don't have that as his team,
Bro,
then
man,
he
no one-
messing up,
if
bro.
somebody at the podium don't say who,
Yeah.
Mac
I'm
Jones.
gonna be hot.
Hey, that's the
Mac
only
Mac
reason-
Jones is a solid career backup. That's what
one of
he
the
is.
best football names you gonna get.
Yep, he can't beat it.
Solid career backup, and then you, like I said, Zach. I keep
Wilson.
forgetting his last name, but he lost to, like I said, he lost to Coastal Carolina. I can't get past that.
You didn't talk to Manny. That's his squad that's gonna draft.
I can't get past it. You go by a little, yeah, it's easy to do it out there in some shorts. Yeah, he made some nice throws in shorts. What that mean?
Who was that? Belichick. It was Mac Jones.
Mac Jones.
Yeah, he saw Mac Jones throw the ball. He was like, "Nope." He started shaking his head.
Quarterbacks, listen, that's why this thing gets you fired or gets you in the Hall of Fame, man. Because there's no easy science to this, man. There's dudes that people thought were going to be great and end up being busts, and there's dudes that you couldn't think 5 minutes of and end up being great. I mean, there's no exact science to this, man. For real. I mean, how the hell do we know? You could draft Justin Fields and he breaks his leg first practice. It's never the same again. Like who knows? Who the hell knows, man? You're trying your best. I do know Mac Jones is not the answer at 3. I know that. I mean,
You might as well get used
I don't know
to
how
it.
you put
Yeah.
Mac Jones and Justin Fields in a field together at the same time. And
But
you
I
come
guess
out of that thinking
shit. If
Mac
Sam
Jones-
Darnold was drafted 3, you can draft Mac Jones at 3 because he better than Sam
But
Darnold.
Sam had
Any
hype.
day.
Mac
Sam
Jones
had
is
hype.
not better than Sam Darnold.
Mac
so
Jones
stop
better
that.
than Sam Darnold.
Yes,
No, he's
Mac
not.
Jones
You
better
are
than Sam
crazy.
Darnold. Sam
No, he's
Darnold is
not.
trash.
You give
Well,
Sam
I'm not
Darnold
disagreeing with
Jerry
that, but
Judy.
Sam
Mac
Darnold is
Jones is
trash.
not better
You
than
give
Sam
Mac
Darnold.
Jones-
Hold on,
Sam-
hold
Mac-
on. One at a time. What would you say, Manny?
How is Mac Jones better than Sam Darnold?
How is he
It's
not?
even-
What?
is he
What?
not?
You put
First of all,
Sammy.
one has played in the NFL, one hasn't. We don't know what Mac Jones is in the NFL.
It's
I know
not
what he
even
is in
that. You
Alabama.
put Sammy.
One-
You put Sammy on that team with
One?
Nick Saban. He's gonna
Mhm.
do that or
Yes,
even more.
absolutely.
No.
Yep.
Come on,
100%.
Shelton.
You put what now?
Sammy on that Alabama team that Mac Jones was
He'll
on.
throw more interceptions
He-
than he did. He'd
you
do
are
just like he did in
You're
college.
crazy.
He was on a great
Shut-
USC
shut
team. He was
Mike
throwing.
off.
Them
Light
USC
it.
teams were good.
Man,
The
you
man
crazy.
turned the ball over. He's always
Bro,
been what he is.
Who's the quarterback? Who's the
Same
quarterback
thing with
that
Josh Rosen. They
Alabama-
the same.
Alabama won a championship with what's his face at quarterback?
Who?
2 nondescript quarterbacks. They
Always.
won it with what?
Oh, AJ McCarron.
AJ McCarron.
Yep.
Who's the dude that they won before Jalen Hurts? That won one with.
I don't
before
care.
Jalen
Sam
Hurts?
Darnold's trash.
It was a
he
white
plays
dude.
in
It was a
Philly
white
right
dude,
now.
random. It was a random dude.
Sam
Yeah, like-
Darnold's trash. Sam Darnold is the worst quarterback in the league. Come on, man.
Please
He's
record
not
Y'all
the
keep
worst
blaming.
quarterback.
He's the worst.
Y'all done blame this on the Jets like it's all the Jets' fault that this man is bad.
He's not the
Y'all
worst
not watching
quarterback
play?
in the league.
Oh man.
He who's worse than him?
Teddy?
Teddy's not worse than Teddy threw 20 touchdowns, had 11 interceptions.
That touchdown to interception ratio ain't good, bro.
20 to 11 is better than last place Darnold.
Ooh.
And I'm not saying Teddy had a bad year. I'm not saying Teddy had a great year. None of that. I'm saying compared to Darnold,
Say the Panthers is you.
Boy.
compared to Darnold,
That white boy went down, McCaffrey.
Yeah, that was rough.
It was over.
He said, "White man can't jump, black
Nah.
man can't throw."
Mm.
All right, let's move on to the NBA. There's a couple news announcements. We got a little thing we're gonna do later on, but Drew Holiday signs a 4-year extension with the Milwaukee Bucks for I think worth up to 160 mil. Was this a smart move by Drew Holiday?
Yeah, get
Yeah.
the money.
Yeah.
Get your
Yes,
money.
sir.
Get your bread.
What the fuck is
Get your money.
Great.
I'm
move
talking about
if
to
you're
assist-
Drew Holiday.
This long money is not guaranteed in your career, man. If you can secure yourself, secure your family, whatever, get that bread, bro.
Where else are we gonna get it at?
Exactly.
I'm not saying that. I'm just talking about tying
Thank you,
himself
Ken.
to the organization.
You're not. So this is the misconception of a contract.
Go ahead.
The contract you sign with the NBA, not necessarily with that particular team. Now, the details of that contract affect that team, but you are guaranteed a position in the NBA for as long as you have that contract or the money that's assigned to that contract. So it doesn't matter. From Drew's perspective, it could have been the motherfuckers in Timbuktu give that motherfucker 4 years, 160 million. He gonna sign it.
What
Correct.
kind of basketball they play?
I don't know.
It don't even. It wouldn't even
Man, I
matter.
want to
saying,
know
though.
if they give you
I'll be
160
right out there.
mil.
But shit,
I'll still look at it though.
I'll be right out there.
I might hit a
You gonna
FIFA
be out there.
sabbatical, be gone for 2 weeks, boy. Come back like, hey, bro, they tripping over there, but I got paid.
But you got paid though. You know what I'm saying? So from Drew's perspective, the shit don't matter what team that shit is attached to. It's the fact that he signed that motherfucker and is guaranteed no matter what. That's what's most important. Who we need to be questioning is the Milwaukee Bucks. And I've always said with small market teams, here's the thing. I don't think that the price is astronomical. I think for what he provides for that team and how they're constructed, I think it's a fairly reasonable deal. The person that they did overpay is Chris Middleton.
Yeah.
And I also think that they could have kept Malcolm Brogdon. They could have made some other moves, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
But
Malcolm
when you
Brogdon
are a
was
team
bad.
like that, like I said with Rudy Gobert, you got to pay the guys you got. Because you're not going to just go get all of the sexy names in free agent.
They're not
Ain't
coming.
nobody saying, I want to go live in Milwaukee for the next 5 years of my life. Who
Correct.
say that?
Unless you're getting paid 160 million.
Even
Right.
I got a question.
Or if you win.
If I have an opportunity to go to California, Texas, Florida, Georgia, I'm picking that just
For the
off
same
a
money.
lifestyle.
Yeah, for the same money. Yeah.
Or even a couple million less.
Less. Yeah.
For 10, 20 million less, I might go to Florida, bro. I might go to Miami or Orlando, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll
You know what I'm
take
saying?
140 to go
Unless
to Miami.
you're winning.
before
or
I take
playing
one
with
160
generational
for Milwaukee.
talent.
Correct.
I'll leave 20 million on the table, bro.
What'd you say, Manny?
I'm saying you'll play in a small market if you're like in San Antonio. Like realistically, San Antonio isn't exactly New York City, but Tim Duncan was there, and you get a chance to play with a generational talent. So it depends. It depends on. I mean, you can't.
Manny, hold on.
He was drafted there.
Thank you. Everybody that made San Antonio, who is San
They
Antonio,
drafted them.
did they
They
pick
drafted
them?
But
Right?
I'm saying,
They
like, as a
drafted
free
their
agent,
ass.
I'm just saying from a free agent perspective. I get you, right? No, you would think any free agent would want to play in a big market or in a big city, like or in a LA, whatever, right? But some guys aren't wired the same way. I don't know, man. You wave 140, 50 million at somebody, depending on where your priorities are in life. I guess you pick wherever.
Nobody
you
going
can
there.
play.
Nobody's going. Yeah, at this stage,
Milwaukee,
those
bro.
guys aren't going there.
If Milwaukee becomes a destination, it's because they win, not because of the locale.
Not
Still
even.
not
They're
going
still
to.
not going.
Who knows, man?
Wait, hold on. Look.
I'm not saying the majority of the NBA is going to want to go there. I'm just saying there might be a dude
Hey,
that takes their money.
Manny, there's 400 jobs in the NBA, dog. There's only 400. So that means that you being that selective is not a real possibility unless your name is up there.
Yeah.
And if your name is up there and Milwaukee is an opportunity, but so is some other sexy destinations, you're going to pick those other destinations. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
If I'm going to have to live in the cold, take my ass to Brooklyn, New York, Chicago.
You rather play
Damn
for the
near
Bucks,
Detroit
right? You
before
rather play for the
Milwaukee.
Bulls than the
Yeah.
Bucks right now?
Hell no.
Nah.
What is Milwaukee?
Mm-mm.
Hell no, bro. No,
You
man.
could
rather
be
play for
with
the
K
Bulls
Camp.
right now?
No.
Y'all the only two
Hey,
niggas
give
in
me the
Milwaukee.
Bucks if I got to play for the Bulls, man. Give me the Bucks. All right, that's me. But hey,
B, what you
Nah,
think
I'll go
about
to
the
Chicago.
Like Chicago's amazing.
Yeah.
Chicago, no, ain't nothing against the city. I'm talking about the organization. Like,
But look,
No.
look.
Them
At the
guys
end
ain't
of the
thinking
day,
like that.
you get paid to play ball, and you won't play ball wherever the hell you go. Now, the relationships that you make along the way is kind of what determines it. But you are the commodity. If you're not happy and you're one of the top guys, guess what happens? GM is gone, head coach is gone. Who's still with the Bulls right now? Zach LaVine.
Zach, he ain't going nowhere.
He ain't going nowhere.
Mhm.
They're building around him.
Yeah.
The only other person outside of Zach LaVine in the next 3 years that ain't gonna go nowhere is the owner. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
Star player, owner, they ain't going nowhere.
Right.
The rest of y'all, man, it's not about y'all. It's about me that just signed a $140, $200 million contract.
Mm-hmm.
No, man.
What's your
the
thoughts
point
on
I'm
it, B?
making is what you prioritizing. Are you prioritizing winning, or are you prioritizing your lifestyle? Because
Prioritize money.
lifestyle. But the money's the same everywhere. You're gonna get 140 million in Milwaukee, the same money you're gonna get in LA. I know taxes and all that stuff.
It's
I'm not
been
talking
different though.
I guess maybe.
Yeah, them dudes ain't going there. It's just like Charlotte. It's the same thing as Charlotte. They said the same thing. We signed Gordon Hayward because we had to. You know what I'm saying? Initially, everybody was like, why they give Gordon Hayward so much money? Well, you're not going to attract the big name free agents in these small markets. It's not going to happen. Just like they're saying Zion is going to leave New Orleans as soon as he can. You have to get what you can get. And it's that
Isn't
mid-level
kind
guy.
of the problem though?
The Drew Holidays, the Gordon Haywards, those mid-level guys who, like you said, they're a little later on in their careers. Those are the guys that you get in these small markets, and you overpay them because you have to. But you're not going to get those top level.
Is an issue, right? Like, isn't that a problem long term from a sustainable standpoint? I'm not.
Nope.
I'm not disagreeing with anything that y'all are saying. By the way, I'm just saying, like,
You know why it's
if
not?
you're Charlotte, what hope do you have then? If you can't attract big name free agents, what hope?
No,
do you have?
no. Thank you.
You have to draft well.
You have to draft well.
Okay.
Because here's the
and
thing.
then in 5 years, LaMelo can peace out and
No.
go somewhere else.
Here, this is the other misconception. That person you draft ain't gonna walk. You know why they're not gonna walk? Because he's
That
gonna leave over
contract
$100 million on the
Yep.
damn table.
Right.
We've
It's
seen others
the
do it.
worst financial decision to not re-up that first time with the team that drafted you. So you're gonna be, if you're a first round pick, especially if you're a lottery pick, plan to be with that team. If you're the guy now, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
everybody's not the motherfucking guy,
At
but
least
if they want to keep you around,
8-9
you're gonna be
years.
with that organization at least 6 to 8 years.
Yes.
6 to 8 years.
But
It's not until you get into your prime is when you can actually make that decision to actually walk. So as a young team, as great as LaMelo is and all of that, I know they're still in the playoffs, but it's primarily because they're in the East.
Mm-hmm.
But it is what it is. If we was doing an NBA draft just based off of standing, and they would be in the fucking lottery again.
Mm-hmm.
They look like a lottery team without LaMelo out there. That's just my opinion.
They do.
That is.
You know what I'm saying? So this is why you draft the LaMelo. Oh shit, he's a lot better than what we thought he was gonna be. He's more ready than we thought he's gonna be. We still suck. We still draft high. It may not be as good as LaMelo, but you draft that person. And you hope to build up that person's value to then be like, well, shit, you really don't work, but your value is there. Now we can move you and move pieces around. That's how it goes. The misconception is that somebody's gonna walk after they get drafted. It's not gonna happen. You draft that player as a lottery pick, you're gonna have him for 6 to 8 years.
I heard LaMelo was going to LA when his contract up. That's what his daddy said.
His daddy say a lot of shit.
Yeah.
Until
LeVar not in control of shit no more.
He Lady Eloise.
B, did you like the signing?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see no issue with it. I mean, didn't Mike Conley get like a buku of money when he signed with Memphis? You know what I'm saying? So I don't see no big fuss about the thing. I'm just happy that the brother was able to sign a big contract and whatever it can help him and his family. That's dope. I mean, Jrue Holiday is a good player. I think he's definitely a great on-ball defensive player for that team. So, but I mean, it is like, damn, you want to be in Milwaukee for that many more years. I mean, we don't know if Giannis gonna stay there or not. We don't know. We just don't know the future of that team. But if you want to grab that, get that.
Does Giannis have an opt out?
I don't know.
I got let me double check on that.
Yeah, I don't know if he.
Because I don't think he does.
I'm not sure.
The
If he
Giannis
doesn't,
and
then
Drew
he
show.
good.
Maybe
You
they'll
said-
get rid
you
of
said-
Middleton.
That contract he just signed, Giannis, does he have an opt out after a year or two? Because I think it's a 4-year deal, right? Or 4 or 5
Yeah,
year deal.
it's a 4-year,
Yeah, it
$100
is.
million deal.
Yeah, they always do an op for on that last year, or typically they do.
Yeah.
He has a player option in 2025.
So it's pretty much what, a 5-year, a 4-year deal. 4 year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, his extension was the 5-year, $228 million. But yeah, damn.
But essentially, he doesn't have an opt out. He has a
Yeah.
player option. The player option.
Yeah, he
after
just got the
that.
player option, but he doesn't have an opt
Okay.
out.
I mean, so Giannis will be there at least for till 2025 at least.
Yeah, it works out.
Moving on in other news. Yesterday, the Knicks and the Nets played a hard-fought game.
That was a good game.
That was a really good game. Shout out to Julius Randle, got triple-double, but the Knicks unfortunately lost. I'm worried about them. I got a picture saved for if they make the playoffs. I could post that shit and I could be shitting on y'all niggas. But
let me ask you a question. How many did quickly score last night?
James Harden, unfortunately,
How many did LaMelo score?
huh?
How many did LaMelo score?
Almost the same as much amount as quickly.
James Harden, unfortunately, he came back in that game but had to leave 4 minutes in because of
Oh, it was
hamstring
rough.
issues. But they still won with just Kyrie. However,
Hey, did you see Kyrie? Though?
Kyrie looked
Kyrie-
great.
Bro,
That looked like
Kyrie
that
made-
looked like
hey,
that
all
looked
that
like
shit that
Cleveland
Brooklyn went
Kyrie.
through, they was like, look, if this nigga could do this, we'll take it.
That looked like
If you,
Cleveland
want, if
Kyrie.
you want PTO, you can have it, my nigga. As long as you here doing that shit.
I was burning some incense myself.
But my question to y'all is, should they rest Harden and KD into the playoffs?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Well, they resting now anyway, so
They're resting
Yes,
anyway.
for
yeah,
sure.
so-
Yeah, look. Right, like obviously all of the moves have expedited the timeline from okay, we should be able to compete because we got 2 of the top 15 players in the league to hey, shit. Y'all niggas don't win. What the hell wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that's how much this shit got expedited. So no, save all them niggas for the playoffs because that's really the only thing that matters. As long as you got one of them dudes out there right now, that's all you need for some type of continuity.
yeah.
But save those guys.
And that's why you got the Blakes and the LaMarcus and stuff like that. They can with Kyrie as the lead dog, you good to
We
go.
can maintain.
Yep.
We can maintain.
This nigga was doing some shit, bro. I saw Julius Randle give him the best defense I've ever seen a big man do. The nigga still banked it off the bruh.
Yeah,
I
You
see,
got
yeah.
shocked.
Hey.
Like, this is Kyrie, man. This is-
Right.
Hey, the left hand when he went and he dribbled, put the ball out, got fouled, coming through the lane,
Disgusting.
jumped up,
Disgusting.
2 people over him like this. He like no, I'm gonna just wait. Left hand, yo.
He may be the
man.
greatest scorer I've
There's
ever seen.
There's literally never been a question about his talent. It's all the other stuff. And if he
But
could
you-
just manage that as a coach, if you could just manage a little bit of that,
Yeah.
I mean,
You know
Kyrie's
what?
that dude, and health, because
Of course,
Kyrie is
the health thing,
prone
you
to
know, it
get
is
hurt.
what it is. You know the one thing that I hate when I talk to certain basketball people and they tell me, oh, it looks like it's so hard for Kyrie to score. First of all, do you understand the
that?
level of athleticism that this man
Who
is
said
going
that?
up against night in, night out?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to look hard. I can't jump out the gym. I'm not 6'9". I'm not, you know what I'm saying? So it is going to be harder. But it's all about how you finish.
Yeah.
And the moves you have to even get to the points to finish.
Mhm.
That dude, Kyrie, nothing like him in the NBA ever.
Yes.
He's
He may be the
different,
most skilled offensive player of all time.
bro.
Because
he's
like you said, it's
different.
not athleticism. It's
It's
all
skill.
skill.
It's all skill. And this is like when I watch certain players play right now, I'm gonna compare Steph Curry right now. When I watch Steph Curry dribble, I'm like, I know the drill to get me that nice. When I watch Kyrie dribble, he don't have no moves.
He created as he
He
goes.
reacts to everything. There's nothing that is predetermined in terms of, oh, I'm gonna hit him with this move. No, Kyrie goes out there. He's like, I'm telling you, he's like Mayweather in the ring. He ain't gonna watch no tape on you. He gonna feel you out, and whatever the hell happens, it's gonna happen. But I'm not the one that's gonna be looking messed up. It's gonna be you.
Mm-hmm.
And that's just what he does, man. Kyrie is exceptional. I ain't never seen nothing like it, man.
Would you take Kyrie at his best over Dame at his best?
Yes. Kyrie's more special than Dame. And Dame is obviously special. But Kyrie's superpower, we ain't never seen before.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, Dame is another one. Dame is great because of his work ethic. Kyrie is just touched. Like, here, he just got something different.
I think that's some of that voodoo he probably did too.
It could possibly.
Damn, not voodoo, Ken.
To me, Kyrie's just the most dangerous scorer when, just period on the court.
I was going to ask you that question. You think he's more deadly than even KD?
No.
KD to me is
KD's more efficient. KD can take about 5 shots and have 40 points. I don't know how he'll do it. But Kyrie is just more of like, even when like, anytime I know we say this about Steph, anytime he shoots, it's like he's going in. But like with Kyrie, it's like anywhere on the court that he's on, he is going to score. I can't really say that about most motherfuckers. Yeah. Like he can score. And the thing about it that I'll make you double think that question about KD is just that Kyrie, like FIFO said, he's not athletic. KD is a physical presence. You're not going to block his shot because he can shoot right over you. He can shoot over anybody. He shot over dirt. But with Kyrie, it's like he's a somewhat average height as far as like in the NBA, and he still gets busy with anybody.
I was told to tell you, hold up now, Kobe is the greatest scorer I ever seen. 81.
I wouldn't say that.
Kobe?
Factory.
Who told you that?
Kobe?
Kobe told you that?
No, I said you don't think Kobe is.
What?
I was about to say, if you talk to Kobe, boy,
no, Kobe.
that should be one of your guests that you bring on.
I know, right? I know.
Man, like what you bringing up in here?
Hey, we got a super chat from Corey Lyons. Hey, speaking of super chats, in case y'all didn't know, because some people in the chat sent a message asking how to super chat. You can see the $sign on the chat in the corner. And what that does is that helps us to keep this business running. It helps us to bring you more content, more guests. All the stuff that we do is through your support. So if you got questions, please super chat and help us out. The donations do help. Where else can they donate, Ken?
PayPal, deadendsports@gmail.com.
PayPal, deadendsports@gmail.com. All of your help is appreciated. We appreciate all of y'all joining us. Say it again.
Y'all got stimuluses?
Oh, yeah, you get your sir.
$20. Come on now.
So please, all the super chats help us. We use that money to keep the show going. So please help us out with that and appreciate y'all in advance. Corey Lyons with the super chat. Appreciate you, Corey. As always, if Brooklyn does what is expected and win the chip, do you think there will be another super team to be formed to counter them?
Yes. The Lakers.
Immediately.
What do you, LeBron, the greatest GM in the game.
Oh, immediately. You mean Steph? Steph gonna go play with him?
Yep.
You know he recruiting.
100%. I 100% could see that happening.
The only natural team that I can see is Denver. If everybody's at peak, like of their talents and skill set. Outside of that, you got to build somebody. Like the Lakers would have to get Steph and maybe another piece. But the Nets right now, if they're all healthy, they have so many tiers. Like their bench could start at this point.
Do. And I was watching the game the other day. We talked about speaking of Denver, we talked about the trade impacts and all the stuff at the deadline. I don't know if y'all saw Aaron Gordon play, but what he brought to the table was exactly what that team needed. I mentioned that was my trade going into it. Man, he brought exactly what they needed. They needed defense in the post. And they needed a slasher that Joker could kick that ball to and make some things happen. And that's exactly what he did in that game. That game they just played against Orlando the other night. I watched that game, and they were down in the first half, maybe 20 points, something like that. The second, he let them in score, and he brought them back. They just came back like it wasn't nothing. It was like they just played around. It was like, y'all ready to play?
Yeah, B and I was talking about that Sunday, I think. And he's a perfect fit.
Yes.
He's a perfect fit for that team.
He is.
So I know Manny's going to have to eat his words on that one. Because he wasn't really liking Aaron Gordon, but the thing I like about Denver,
the season over yet?
It's just beginning. The thing I like about Denver is the fact that all their players are complementary players, meaning that they literally fit like pieces to a puzzle. Jamal Murray is not a true point guard, but when you have a point center, you don't need a true point guard. You know what I'm saying? He's very efficient with his shot, his decision-making, things of that nature. And he's a guard with size. Not tremendous athleticism, but a guard with size. You got Michael Porter Jr. 6'10", face up game, 3-point shot, could put the ball on the deck, grabs rebounds, has high level IQ, can play off or on the ball. You know what I'm saying? Then you add Aaron Gordon, athletic freak. You know what I'm saying? High IQ with the ball. Well, high IQ overall with the ball. He's still improving, but knows how to play on or off the ball. And then we got Joker, MVP candidate, point center in the league, top 3 passer, top 5 passer in the NBA right now. All of that works together because Mike Malone is also a top tier fucking coach.
Right.
And I don't think he gets enough praise. You put all of that together in addition to the experience that they got in the bubble last year. This team, in my opinion, is probably going to be the scariest team to play in the playoffs.
Right. And they're not in
Lakers
5 years.
No, this year.
It's still 5 years. Right. Still in that 5
Oh,
years.
yeah.
They got a decade-long bet.
Hey, they got bowl on the bench.
I know what it is. Bowl, come. Will y'all stop with the bowl? Okay, it's over.
Ken hate.
I just
Hey.
they keep hyping this dude.
Bowl is on the bench. Hey, but you know
Lakers
what?
in 6,
What's
though.
crazy too about that team is they are unselfish. They don't care who scores. And you know what I'm saying? Michael Porter Jr. hit a 3 from the corner, and the whole team went crazy. I ain't seen that in a while. So to see the team go crazy like that, like it meant something. Every time somebody scored, everybody was up. Everybody was excited. I was like, that's basketball. That's how it should be. Watching them, I love watching them. I think that they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with.
Coming out the West.
Lakers in
Huh?
6.
Yeah, it's gonna. I ain't said. I'm not saying that. What he say?
Lakers in 6, baby.
Yes, yeah. And I was gonna say, man. I'm not saying they're gonna win it this year. I can't go that far yet, but I wouldn't want to play them.
He gonna get there.
He gonna get there.
I
Yeah,
might get
he
there.
gonna
I
get
might
there.
get there. I would if I was the
He gonna
Lakers.
say Denver in 7.
Yeah,
just to be
he has
yeah,
it right now.
just to stretch it out.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think so.
Because you know what? It's not going to be their year until Michael Porter assumes like the number 1 scoring
Once
role.
he's the
Once he's like, our buckets are coming through him. Everybody else does what they do. But when MPJ assumes that role of top, I'm going to eat the most.
Next year, it'll be next year.
But that's when Denver takes that ascension. It's on MPJ.
Going back, I forgot to mention this before the NBA, but there was a whole basketball tournament throughout this time that
It was
NCAA tournament that
What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
that we didn't really pay attention to until the Final Four, honestly. Like most people in the country.
Terrible.
I didn't at all. At all.
But the Final Four was very interesting. At least
for who?
Shit, at least for me, I bet money on UCLA. And I was watching that game, I was pissed. But I wanted to get y'all thoughts. The NBA draft is coming up at the end of July 29th. The lottery, I believe, is June 22nd. But we got the chances. This is what the whole tournament is about, to see who potentially can come into the NBA and be, the next superstars of the league. But I just want to get y'all overall thoughts on the Final Four. We can go from, starting from the Baylor and Houston and UCLA Gonzaga, or all the way up to the championship. Overall thoughts.
Do you watch
all? When I saw,
yeah, go ahead.
When I was watching that Baylor and Houston game, because I actually thought that was going to be a closer game because Houston they defense is freaking crazy. So, but man, the way Baylor handle them boys, and Baylor, they just been playing good all year. I mean, both of these teams, it was funny, ironically, both of these teams in the national championship, they were the preseason number 1 and number 2 teams going into this season. So it's kind of funny that they both, end up playing each other for the championship. But yeah, the way Baylor was playing in these last few games in that tournament, I was like, man, people always, I Google guying over Gonzaga just because they was an undefeated team, but I'm like, yo, them Gonzaga ain't played them boys like a Baylor team. I said,
no.
And I kept telling Ken, I said, man, Baylor they about to whoop their ass. Like I was saying that before the game. I was like, man, Baylor about to whoop these dudes' ass. And Ken was like, yeah, I hope so too. But yeah, the way Baylor played them, man, was incredible. Like it's like they literally bully balled them. Like and Gonzaga did not know how to handle that, like at all. But shout out to Suggs though in the Final Four game, hitting that very, very big shot, man, to in overtime for them to get the win. That was pretty damn big, man, against UCLA. And shout out to UCLA because UCLA was a play-in team. Like they started out a play-in game.
Yes.
They were underranked. They should have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the fact that they, scrapped through and got through all their wins, they beat Michigan State, they beat end up beating Michigan. They beat both of the Michigan schools actually, and yeah, man. So UCLA had a hell of a run. So shout out to them. It would definitely be dope to see them like make it all the way to the finals and upset Gonzaga, the Zags, but nah, man, that damn Baylor squad, they was on a mission. When I saw them beat Houston, and then right after that we saw the Gonzaga game, I was like, oh yeah, Gonzaga don't got nothing for them Baylor boys. It's unless Baylor had a horrible shooting day, it was gonna be a wrap for Gonzaga regardless, man. Like that shit was poetry in motion. It was poetry in motion.
I was gonna say, B, I don't even know if they had a horrible shooting game, but they still could have won that game because they was getting every rebound.
Yeah, they was.
So
yeah,
them dudes was. That was I was telling my brother, I was like, man, that's like them white dudes from the YMCA going down playing them brothers in the park. They wasn't prepared for that action.
They wasn't prepared for that action.
They wasn't prepared for that
at all, man. I loved every and I think Butler. He was the first player since Carmelo in the championship game that had 20 points and 7 assists plus.
Yeah, that was just a well played game by them. I mean,
it was
on every they were beating them at every phase. I'm talking about offensively. Defensively, it looked like they was playing. It looked like 7 players out there on the court. One of my friends said they probably need to change it up. My boys was telling me that they need to change up the defense. Gonzaga, I was like, unless they go into a 3-4 with a couple safeties back there, ain't nothing they can do with this team tonight. I was like, ain't nothing. There's nothing you can change up.
Tell me, within the first 5-6 minutes of the game, you knew who was going to win. I mean, even though, granted, we know basketball can be a game of runs. You know what I'm saying, but. It's just a body language. I look for body language, man. And the way Gonzaga was looking, man, after them first few minutes, I was like, "Oh, this game is won." Like Baylor won this. This game is over.
How much do you guys think going through overtime, the emotions of that game? Not taking anything away from Baylor because Baylor just completely demoralized Gonzaga. But how much of that do y'all think? Playing that game on Saturday night, that emotional roller coaster.
None. I was gonna say none. I thought, Manny. Speaking of that, I thought that was gonna help them. That's why.
I also too.
Right.
Yeah. That's what I was confident. Right. That's what made me have a little confidence in Gonzaga.
Because I don't mean to cut you off, Sheldon. Only because like the reason why, and I agree with you, is because like they need Gonzaga been kind of beating teams easily, for the most part. So I felt like that UCLA game was a good wake-up call for them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of like they've been spoiled all season and all throughout this tournament. And and I thought them pulling off that game against UCLA, I was like, okay, we might be in for a good national championship game. Even though I was still like, Baylor gonna whoop that ass. But I was like, I think it's not gonna be like it's gonna be some close possessions. I think it would have came down to, but nah, man. Like I was completely wrong because the way they won that game against UCLA, I thought that was going to motivate them even more to be like, okay, we finally had our tough game. Yeah, we finally had our tough game. We finally prevailed through. We knew how to tough it out. Now let's try to take this into the national championship.
But it really looked like Baylor was hitting every shot. Did it not look like that to you? And every shot that they missed, but down.
Baylor has a propensity to struggle sometimes with their shot, and they go into slumps. And that's kind of been the thing that's hurt that team historically. Is just offensively they kind of go into droughts. But last night, hey, for one game, they were hitting everything, man. So
everything.
It was good. Yeah, shout out to Baylor, man. Baylor, Scott Drew, to turn that program around. I mean, that program was nothing. 20 years ago, and to be where they're at right now is a credit to him and his staff. So
I think what else was dope too was that no matter what, regardless who won, it was going to be a school's first time getting a national championship. So I think that was dope.
But Mark Few, he on the hot seat now.
Oh,
he's not gonna get fired. He's not gonna get fired. Not the hot seat, but
no, sir.
Why?
No, sir.
Why he's on the hot seat?
Mark Few ain't on nobody's hot seat.
20 years, plays in a community college conference.
No, sir.
Gonzaga used to be the Cinderella team.
No, sir. Mark Few.
Gonzaga being the Cinderella team.
Mark Few has the most comfortable seat in sports.
Yeah.
Mark Few.
He made them a respectable program now. Like
yes.
I mean, hot seat as far as criticism. Not he's going to lose his job. Obviously, he's got a job for life.
You can't even criticize him.
What? Why not?
You can't even criticize him. You can say they had a bad game, but that man was undefeated. He almost had the first perfect season.
He plays nobody all year.
Nobody. He beat everybody he played.
Nobody.
They beat everybody they played. How is that nobody?
That's just nobody.
They ain't beat everybody.
That
they
UCLA that UCLA game.
Everybody. Let's see who.
No, they did.
That
You
you
lied,
oh,
Shel.
They ain't beat Baylor yet.
I got two people I want to shout out from the Final Four. First one is Johnny Zuzak
Yeah.
from UCLA.
Yep. Juzang.
He's gonna be he should be a top 15 pick after that game. Cause that kid was balling. I wanted UCLA to win.
did.
And another one is Teague from Baylor. Shout out to Teague mostly because it's a Cincinnati connect. I got to shout out to Cincinnati. Shout out to his brother as well because I went to high school with him. But yeah, those two guys really showed out and they balled out. I enjoyed the Final Four. I did not think I was going to enjoy this much, especially with that UCLA Gonzaga game. Suggs, that kid is going to be a problem in the league.
Let's come back to him.
Who do you choose between him and Cade Cunningham? That's a man.
Cade.
I knew it was over from Gonzaga the moment I saw them struggle against UCLA.
Yeah, you was talking shit that whole. You was waiting to talk shit after that. You was hoping UCLA was gonna win.
I know. I wanted the Zags to win because I wouldn't have mind watching them go undefeated. But when I saw them struggle against them boys, man, I was like, and YMCA out there on the court, I was like, man, what? And I didn't watch the Baylor game, but I saw the highlights, and I'm like, man, what the hell are they gonna do with them boys? Because the problem is, Gonzaga has this white ass team, and even the black kids are damn near white, and even the dark skinned kid on Gonzaga got blonde hair. That was gonna be a problem. Everybody on damn near everybody on Baylor, they had too much the melanin. There was too much melanin on Baylor's team.
They're not that far from Houston, man. That was H-Town representing.
Bro, they were not ready. Them boys were all over the court. They had a great game plan.
Mm-hmm.
They were switching and rotating. I think even one of the announcers said they were playing zone damn near like it was man. It was incredible.
Anytime Gonzaga had the ball,
effort.
even if they looked like they was open, a second later, there was two defenders
They had no answers.
Yeah, them boys. Gonzaga was like, "What in the fuck is?"
And when your best player is named Timmy, it's a wrap.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap, boy. That nigga was that much, bro. Yeah,
I'm gonna tell you, the only shock of the night for me after what was going on was the fact that they were only down 10 at the half. I don't know how they got that close. It wasn't that close of a game.
Nah, Gonzaga was going. To me, that UCLA game tired out Gonzaga. Gonzaga needed probably 2 days instead of 1 day's rest because to me that was their championship game, getting to the title game. Because
UCLA got heart, bro.
No, UCLA does got hard. I'm just saying, like Gonzaga was. You could tell because the first half Gonzaga looked gassed. They didn't like they was knowing what they was making turnovers.
Nah, they weren't
prepared.
That was Baylor.
They don't see that type of competition.
No, I'm giving credit to Baylor.
Well, no, I know you are, but I think I know you are, but I think you're mistaking their reaction to Baylor as them being tired, and that was not.
No,
the case.
but they got punched in the mouth. But I can also see that they used a lot of their energy 2 nights ago as well too. So that's why in the second half they made it somewhat of a game towards the beginning of the second half. Obviously, after a while, I was like, all right, this game is a wrap. It's over. But it was just like, oh, okay, they're starting to get their momentum back a little bit. It wasn't I was hoping it wasn't gonna be a blowout, and it wasn't really a blowout.
Nah. Hey, let me let y'all know. Early in the season, they beat number 12 Kansas.
Who?
Beat them in double digits. Gonzaga did.
Kansas was trash this year.
After they lost to Gonzaga, they were number 12 at the time. They beat Auburn. They beat Auburn by almost 30 points. Well,
Auburn
it was
make the
over
tournament?
20. They beat West Virginia at the time, who was 13. They beat Iowa at the time, who was number 8. They won some games. They beat Virginia. They scored 98
Virginia
points.
was down this year. Iowa was overrated. Auburn didn't make the tournament.
Virginia was 15 at the time. But what I'm saying is the competition, the level of competition, they beat BYU twice.
Their non-conference schedule. Their non-conference schedule. In their
Virginia
conference,
That's non-conference. Everything I've named is non-conference.
that's what I'm saying. They're non-conference. I'm saying their conference schedule is a joke. That's what you
thing. You can't be criticized for who you have to play in your conference.
Yes, you.
Yeah, when it comes to college basketball, you have to.
Yeah.
This ain't like NBA, NFL.
How can you criticize them for beating everybody in their conference? You can't.
You don't criticize them winning.
He said
you don't criticize the wins. You criticize the competition.
No, he said Mark Few was on the hot seat. His words were Mark Few's on the hot seat.
He said
How
as far
could
as
this-
criticism.
How?
He said criticism.
How?
As
The
far
only
as
thing he
criticism,
do
he's
is
went
been there 20
undefeated. Defeated.
Yes.
You want me to tell you
Yes.
how? You
So
want me to
how
tell
can
you
he be on the hot seat?
Do you
That's
want
my
me to tell you
question.
how?
What can you
Do you-
criticize this man
Do
for
you
except
want
getting
me to tell you how?
yes, getting drug
He's
in the
been there.
championship?
He's been there 20 years. He plays in literally a cakewalk league, like legit. Gonzaga knows every year they're going to be in the tournament. Just by sheer showing up, they have more talent than any other team in that conference.
Correct.
They're going to be in the tournament every year.
Correct.
If they just stay afloat, win a couple of non-conference games, helps pad their stats a little bit, and they just play their conference schedule, they're going to make the tournament. It's easy for them. When they get into the tournament, they flame out each and every year for the last 20 years. They flame out.
They do.
Like I wasn't surprised by this yesterday because they do this every year. A couple years ago, it was Florida State that beat them up. They have no answer because they don't play anybody. But everybody overhypes Gonzaga. Oh, and look, Gonzaga's talented. This was their most talented team, and they still flamed out.
They flamed out in the championship game, is what I'm saying. So what I'm saying
They
is,
should have lost to UCLA.
but
They
they
really
didn't.
should've.
Should've.
I should have won. I should have won some money, Shelton.
Shoulda, coulda.
Yeah, Jalen Suggs hit that lucky ass shot that they were trying to hype.
At least he got his. At least he got his.
Come on, he
moment.
makes that shot in practice all the time.
You know, man. He
He didn't even know that shit was
He
going
said
on.
he even told him I
Yeah,
haven't
he
made
did.
that shot in a while.
He sure did. Yeah. Well, like get out of here. It was a big time shot.
So go
though.
ahead, go since we on Suggs. Go
I
ahead.
just want to know, is he really that good? I'm asking. I'm legit asking. That was my first time playing him.
You don't think he's good?
He was a gamer when they need him the most, but I didn't really walk away all that impressed.
I'm still trying to figure out how you gonna say that this man is on the hot seat when all he does is win. I don't care where he playing. My coach at Winthrop.
The same way you said the Lakers were going to be in the play-in game. By the way, another victory tonight.
Okay, yes. Let's see. We still ain't got there yet.
I'll say
They
this.
still gonna get there. I'm still there.
I'll say this, Shelton. Mick Cronin is the head coach at UCLA.
Mhm.
His bones come from Cincinnati, UC. He always got us in the tournament for the most part. He, however, never really got us over the hump.
Correct.
Yes.
So that by in itself deserves criticism.
I can't say
But
Just
in
'cause you
college,
get there-
judge the coaches.
just 'cause
In
you get there
college,
don't mean
the
shit.
coaches are the stars. You judge the coaches in college, and Mark Few gets all this love. Oh, he's such a great coach. He's this, that, and the other, and he never wins the big one. And again, he has a cakewalk for basically a 2-month stretch. He has a cakewalk in a league that has nobody. Maybe Santa Clara gives Gonzaga a game. BYU this year gave Gonzaga
How
a
many
game.
championships
Outside of that,
Jim
they played
Boeheim got?
nobody in that conference.
that's what I'm trying to say. Like Jim Boeheim, same
Jim
thing.
Boeheim.
It's the same thing.
How many championships Jim Boeheim has?
One. He should have more. He should have more.
But you can't say that this man should be on the hot seat or he's not a good coach. If he wins when he plays, that's all
Well,
the guy
I
can
could
do.
argue
never-
that
but again,
Jim's title is
I never said
helping him
he
avoid criticism.
couldn't coach. I never
How
said
many
he couldn't
does Mark
coach,
have?
and I never said he couldn't.
Mark
He
Few.
should be fired. I said he's on the hot seat as far as criticism.
None.
As far as the heat needs to be turned. Okay, I'll use a different term. He needs to face more scrutiny, more backlash. Because for a guy that gets all that praise and all that criticism, this constantly happens to him.
I'm
And
kind of
this
with
year,
Manny.
No excuse.
I'm kind of
He
with
had
Manny.
the most talented team in the tournament. Baylor played better, but Gonzaga had the most
I
talent.
won't say they're the most talented team.
They got two. They got 2 lottery picks on their squad.
The most talented team in the tournament, though.
Gonzaga. No. Well, I was
Gonzaga
talking
was
about
the,
on the
Gonzaga was
floor.
the best team talent-wise this college basketball season. Now that didn't materialize from one game.
Once again, that's
so over-
coaching. I
Over
think
the
that he
duration of the
coached those
season,
guys.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't have the most talent. They had great coaching. Is
Who was
what
the
they
better
had.
talent? What team was more talented?
Baylor was more talented even than them.
I didn't
And
watch
and
any,
like I
so
said, Baylor
I'm
was the
legit
number 2
asking.
team
I
all
disagree-
year.
I disagree. with
Baylor
that.
was the number
I
2
disagree.
team all year. Gonzaga
disagree.
was a better team because they were coached better. He put them in better
And because they
positions to
played
win.
And they lost.
Yeah, when
I'm
they ran up
confused.
against them, they were outcoached and outplayed, and you saw who was the better
But you
team.
just said they coached better.
That's what I said. He
So-
coached better. You can't coach
So
them
how
to
was he
win.
outcoached then?
They
if he
were
coached better?
outplayed and outcoached better this last game, but it was more playing than anything else. They beat him at every phase
But
of the
you
game.
mentioned that he was outcoached as well, though.
Oh yeah.
So which one was it?
couldn't
Was
do
he
that.
more
He was
outcoached or more
outplayed. He was
outplayed?
outplayed. I said it
He
backwards.
basically said they were
Outplayed
better
first.
until they
Yeah,
weren't.
that's it.
They were better until they weren't.
The point that I'm making is Baylor was a better team.
No, Gonzaga has 2 lottery picked players on it. You can't say that about Baylor.
Who was that?
Who are the
Suggs
two?
and who else?
Suggs and Timmy.
Timmy is not no
Bro.
lottery pick.
Hey, somebody's gonna draft Timmy.
Kispert,
Timmy is not no lottery
they
pick.
have 3 NBA players: Kispert, Timmy, and Suggs. NBA, they're going to be
Kispert?
drafted in the NBA.
I was gonna say,
No.
what's his name? Oye? Was it Oyeo?
No,
And Aji and Ajayi.
Yeah, Jai. Yeah.
Yeah.
Kispert?
no, they got good players now.
As a shooter, yeah, he'll play in the NBA.
Nah,
They got good
he a
players.
second round pick.
But once again, these
I
guys
said
were
play in
nobodies
the
when they got
NBA.
to Gonzaga. So
I
give that
never
man
said-
coaching credit.
No, he just said
I
draft
wanted Mark
picks. He
Few
didn't say
Carolina.
where.
Oh, he's just talking about in general. They got more NBA
general,
talent
yeah.
on their roster than Baylor.
Once again, that's coaching. I think that a lot of that's coaching. Those guys weren't that when they got there.
We got to back up because I look again. I'm asking legit
Mhm.
because I didn't watch any games. And this is the only 2 college games I watched all season: UCLA,
You say you
Gonzaga,
unimpressed?
and Baylor. I'm saying I was not impressed. Jalen Suggs looked good, but when you tell me they had the best talent,
They didn't.
in the tourney, based on
They
what I
had the
see,
best
I did
team.
not see
They
that.
had the
That's-
best team.
You
And
said
even
talent
then-
earlier.
Yeah, that's the best
Man,
team. That's what I'm
Okay,
saying.
they had the best team. They had the
Okay.
best team in the tournament.
You
as
take
far as
Timmy.
team.
You
And
take.
even
My
that-
point is, you take Timmy. You put him on Baylor. You think he playing like that? You think he?
Timmy, he's not even starting.
Thank you. That's my point.
Nah,
so
he
you
gonna,
take
he
the
gonna,
coaching.
he gonna start. He gonna
No,
start.
he ain't starting in Baylor.
Yes, he starts at Baylor.
Who
Timmy,
the hell he is?
Who you start outside of Vital?
Timmy wouldn't be Timmy without being in Gonzaga with Coach Few.
Okay.
Give Coach Few that
Whatever.
man his props.
Give respect to the
I'm a
player
realist.
though. You
That's
gotta
all
give
right.
I'm a
respect.
Little
realist.
Tim.
But you act
As-
like Drew
as a-
Timmy just came out of a garage somewhere. Like
He looked
He
like
did.
he got what
He
that
did.
Magnum PI mustache.
like one of these dudes. but
Where
nah,
did Drew Timmy come from? Let me.
Timmy can play.
Oh,
Timmy
don't
can
you
play.
need to go
Timmy's a good
investigate some
college
shit?
player.
He look like he's trying to play basketball.
He do got that. I've been everywhere, man. Mustache.
Oh man, let me see what
Out
he's
here,
working out.
man. You walk on the court in Baylor,
Oh yeah, Baylor gonna be like, "Nigga, get your ass out. You better take your ass to Washington."
You
boy.
see how dark skinned we are around here?
Timmy-
All
if
our
Timmy
white
was
people
on
can
Baylor,
shoot.
Baylor would-
We only need you out here to shoot.
They only got one white boy on their team.
He was the only one.
I could be wrong, but I think he's like the 43rd
Man, y'all
ranked
crazy.
recruit in his position.
Who?
Timmy, out of high school. I'm
He
saying
was like, Timmy is not a bum. Like y'all making it seem like he was. Oh, it was solely coaching. And he's a talented kid.
He's an
I
All-American.
mean, they go hand in hand, but
Respect
you got to have good coaching to get to that point where you are.
But he's
where
an All-American. You making it sound, Shelton, like he's just some dude they found in a garage. and
He's
just
an
put him-
All-American
He is
because
a
he was
dude.
coached up to be an All-American. Is what I'm making it sound
Okay,
like.
so they
If you
had
got
no
that kind of
talent. So
coach,
he had no talent. Okay.
no, I didn't say that. Once again, to be an All-American, you got to have a good coach to get you there. If you're not an all-world talent, not everybody's there.
He was all
He
right.
would not be that guy. Once again, he would be like without having the coaching to be there. What he was, he wouldn't be that guy. He wouldn't be. He wouldn't even be a starter on most teams without the
He
proper
would start
coaching.
on Baylor though. He would start. He would
I
start
don't
on
think he
Baylor.
would start on Baylor.
He
either.
start on most teams. What are you
Hey,
talking
well,
about?
B,
Who would he start
B. Let's ask
Drew
B. 'cause
Timmy is
he wa-
better than anybody on UNC.
B.
On whose team?
B. Beezy.
On whose team?
Hold on,
I
hold
said
on, hold on.
Beezy.
Hold on, Sheldon. Let me talk.
What up? What up?
What do you think, man? Because you watch a lot of college basketball too. Timmy,
Yeah.
Lil Tim,
Right.
Tiny Tim.
Tiny Tim.
Drew Timmy.
Would he start on Baylor?
No.
What?
Y'all tripping?
Y'all.
I'm
Y'all
telling you.
shit. I don't.
Who is replacing him on Baylor? Vidal.
Nobody's replacing him, but he wouldn't start on Baylor.
Yes, he would. What? He'd be the best player on Baylor. What are you talking about?
Are you-
Besides my man Butler.
Best
And,
player
and-
on Baylor?
He'd be the second or third best player on Baylor besides Butler and
Okay. Okay.
Oh, you
Donovan
said you
Mitchell
said
Club.
you went
Let me
from
read
best
these
to
super
not
chats
second
because
to
Manny tripping. We them boys. Hey, we appreciate you always, we them boys, because you always showing love. We appreciate that. He said Scott Drew deserves credit for rebuilding that basketball program.
yes.
Remember, players used to kill each other over there. That's true. They really did.
Literally.
Literally. If you have not seen the story, man, that's an amazing story. The Patrick Dennehy story. I remember those times. It was crazy. I thought that was the death of the program, and I never thought they'd come back to be where they are. That was crazy. Brennan Irvin said, appreciate you, Brennan. Gonzaga will never get the respect until they move to a better conference. I agree with that too. I think it's time for them to go. And I agree with you on that
They
point.
ain't
They
leaving.
do need to be in a better
They,
conference.
why would
no
they
matter
leave? They're the
what.
kings of the court.
Exactly. I wouldn't leave.
I would definitely leave. It's time. That team is too talented at this point to keep. Like Manny said, he's right about that. I'm not arguing that point.
It
I'm just
sounded
saying-
like you were.
Bro, you
No,
was
no,
arguing. You
no,
did the whole schedule
no.
talking about who they beat. nigga.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. They
That's what I'm
beat
saying.
people. The only thing you can do is play your schedule. I ain't got no control over the conference schedule. The non-conference schedule, they win those games too. So what is your argument? If they win every game they play,
but if they was in a panty,
but
it
if
was in
they're
a
playing
panty,
their
bro.
schedule and there's nobody
they
worthwhile
got
on their
worthwhile
schedule,
teams on the schedule.
It was in a panty, bro. Like it's a
Man,
pandemic, nigga.
It don't matter. They win games every year.
College
and they don't do
basketball
shit
was down
with
this
it.
year. College basketball was down this year. The three best teams were Michigan when Isaiah Livers was healthy, Baylor, and Gonzaga. Those were the three best teams all year. Michigan, obviously, they lost their best player, and then Baylor rose to the top.
Drew Timme, if he had started his career at Michigan, wouldn't be a starter there either.
Drew Timme?
Are you kidding me? Michigan
you
would
watch
love
Michigan?
a Drew Timme.
Yeah, they would
Drew
now.
Timme-
After
Again, I
Mark
said,
Hughes built him
Drew
up.
Timme
Y'all,
is better than anybody.
let's
on
go
your
back and
team
see
right
Drew Timme his freshman year stats and where he came from. Y'all act like this man came in the game
Y'all,
like
man, Shelby,
he didn't
you
come
really-
in the game like
You don't
Jalen
gotta go.
Suggs.
You ain't gotta go that
No,
deep.
you don't.
You don't gotta do that deep. All I'm
There's-
just saying, we're
you
talking about right now.
Hyping the hell out of this guy.
Who?
Drew Timme.
Who is?
You are.
I'm saying no. I'm unhyping him. I'm saying no, he's not that good. I said he was coached up to be that good. I think you missed my point.
Oh.
Yeah, Drew. I'm
Even
saying,
that still, I don't. You
Drew
coached
Timme
up
is a,
to be that good?
You can't be.
Yeah, I'm
you
saying-
can't be an
I'm saying-
All-American talking about I got coached up, nigga.
Yeah,
Nah,
yes,
nigga.
you can.
No, bro.
Yes,
he
you
was
can.
like he was like second. He was top 3 in the whole NCAA this year as far
In
as like
what?
points in the paint or something like that.
True indeed. If you can be coached up to be that.
Bruh, all right.
Can
What
you?
you think?
Somebody
it's
said
just
he looked like
natural?
Reed Thompson. oh man,
He do.
Drew Timme. Okay.
Boy, I know
Drew
he
Timme
was pissed losing to them niggas like
He
that.
averaged
Boy.
nine
He
and-
was hot, boy.
9
You
and 5.
You see his mustache curl up a little bit. He was hot.
He had the hood of the car, boy.
This man averaged 9 and 5 last year.
You know, Timme was recruited by Texas, Michigan State,
And what did he average
Illinois,
at Gonzaga
Arizona,
last year?
Alabama.
9 and 5 last year. So
Okay,
you
what
telling
did
me
he average this
coaching
year?
didn't make that man better?
What did he average this year?
Was he a starter?
19 and 7.
Was he a starter?
No, he
last year?
wasn't starting last year. He was coached up. That's my point.
Okay,
That's
got
my
it.
point. He took, and see, that's what I like about.
But
That was my criticism of my coach.
You be critical of people without context. Like
what's the
like
what's
like
the,
you
what's
just
the
take
missing
it for
context?
superficial value. Like if he don't get minutes, of course he ain't gonna be
Why
able to
the
produce.
hell would you give somebody minutes if they don't deserve them?
Bruh,
You
he's
act like because he don't get the minutes, he don't get the props. You don't get minutes because you ain't better than the person in front
That's
of
not
you.
always true. We
In most
just
cases-
talked about Aaron Rodgers sitting behind Brett Favre for 3 years.
In
Is
most-
that because he was trash?
It had nothing to do with him being trash. He wasn't Brett Favre at the time. There was a reason he was sitting
He's
behind
better
him.
than Brett Favre.
Now he is.
But he wasn't there.
Correct.
We don't know that.
We do know that. This is why Brett Favre started.
That's why he started. That's the same thing.
You made it sound like he went from 9 to 19 as a starter in both the years.
In
That's
one
why
year.
that sounded
Yeah,
weird.
like if you
In
you-
one
So,
year.
of course, he's not going to average 19 points because he didn't have the minutes to average 19
But you don't
points.
get the minutes because you're not the player that you were in the end. That's
I
my point.
understand that, but you can't be throwing those stats out
It don't
like
matter.
they mean
If
something.
I come off the bench,
that's not the
if
case.
I come off the
bro.
bench and I score 20, and I start and I'm scoring 25, it don't
So then
matter.
if that's the case, then why,
It ain't-
then why
it
did
ain't
James
just
Harden
that.
come off the bench in OKC? Because he wasn't good.
He wasn't that good then. He wasn't James Harden then. That wasn't the same James Harden
The
as you
nigga
see
the
now.
next year averaged like
He
30.
was not. He was not the same player. He wasn't the same player.
So 1 year, okay. All right.
1 year makes all the difference to some
His
players if you
role
work at it.
changed and he became
Let's go
a
back to that
starter.
Jalen.
If
Suggs
you
discussion.
work at it, y'all act like it's the same guy. Oh, this got James Harden sitting on the bench.
So you
Doing what he
you
doing
say he
now.
got coached up in Houston.
Doing what he's
You
doing
say he
now.
got coached up in Houston.
Doing
I'm
what
asking
he's
you a
doing
question.
now.
He got coached up in
Nah,
Houston.
he got coached up over the summer. Whoever he was working
Mikhail
with worked
coached
on
him
that
up in
game and got him
Houston.
right.
He don't get no credit
Mikhail
for his
made
own talent.
James
That's what I said. Whoever he was working with got him right.
Jalen Suggs.
It could have been him.
All right.
Is Jalen
Yeah,
Suggs
Mikhail.
legit?
Huh?
Yeah,
Like
Mikhail
NBA
coached
legit
up,
though. Like,
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's a lottery
Yeah.
top 15 pick.
100%.
I know what they
He's
say.
the top 5 pick.
He's top 5, top 3 maybe.
What's his game?
I don't know
Top
these
three,
niggas in the
for
draft,
sure.
so that's why I'm saying I'm just going with top.
Yeah,
15.
top 3.
So
right
so
now, the
so
top 3, the top 3 is some combination of Evan Mobley, Jalen Suggs, or Cade Cunningham.
Cade Cunningham, number 1.
Cade Cunningham number 1.
Yeah.
Jalen Suggs or Evan Mobley number 2.
Correct.
is
In some way, shape, or form.
is because when I was watching, I was like, well, maybe it's him playing at Gonzaga and the system and college is kind of,
different.
kind of
It's
throttling down like the ability to see his talent because that happens a lot in college.
Mm.
So I didn't, that's why I'm asking because I don't know. I don't know if it was the
If he goes to an NBA team where he's allowed to be unleashed,
okay.
dude's
Yeah.
pretty nice, man.
He'll have to go to Indiana or somebody.
All right,
He's athletic.
I
man.
remember this.
Cade is so smooth though.
B needs to be rooting for Jalen Suggs to come to the.
No, he don't.
No, he don't.
Yeah,
But-
yes he does.
Nah.
Yes he
Him or
does.
Cade Cunningham. Who got the
Cade
number one pick right
Cunningham
now?
is so smooth
Who
though.
got the number? Who got the
Sounded
number
like
one
Cade-
pick?
it
You
sounded
know,
like
they
Cade
don't
is
go
the
by
best.
worst record. You know, there's lottery. You know, they go
Yeah,
by
right.
lottery.
But I'm saying who
Yeah,
has
you
the
got-
worst record right now?
I
'Cause they
think
have the most
Timberwolves.
opportunity.
I want to say Timberwolves got the worst record right now.
They
I know
won
Detroit got the
last
third-
night.
I know Detroit got the
Yeah,
third worst
you see
record.
Anthony Edwards, Nick?
Boy,
Boy, he
hey,
putting a rookie of the
Yeah,
year.
he
number,
sure is
boy.
5 for 15
he my
in the
rookie of the
last.
year.
He shot
Man.
5 for 15 his last game. I
He's
ain't
killing.
seen no
He
rookie
always
of the
find
year.
that one game though.
No, that's the last game. I just go by the last game.
You know,
Game before that, 9 for 22.
he didn't find that game when he kind of scored like 12 points down the stretch to help them win.
Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
found that game because that game he was 9 for
saw it.
22.
But he ain't mentioned the game though.
9 for 22.
He ain't
We
mentioned the game.
we talking about this guy's stats.
But
you
I'm
know,
just saying, Jay.
let's look at
Hey,
last
Shelton,
night.
who the Lakers gonna play in the playing game? Or in the playing game?
Whoever is in the 10th spot, because I guarantee you they're gonna be in the 7th spot.
Oh, okay.
Right now, the worst
Mark my words.
the worst three teams in the NBA are
It's the bottom
Timberwolves,
four.
the Rockets, and the Pistons.
Pistons,
It's the bottom
Pistons
four.
third.
And see, Manny keeps saying that like they ain't like they out of the woods. I mean, let's look
Hey,
at it.
treading
Let's-
water. What did I say? I said treading water.
But
He
let's,
did say
but
that.
let's, yes, he did. But they still got a losing record in this time. They're in the 5th
They're like
place
500
spot.
right now, right?
They're only 3 games ahead of the 7th spot, which
They
is
were
the playing game.
3 games ahead. The last time we talked about
The
it.
playing,
No, they
the
were two
playing
games
game is
ahead.
8 and 9, right?
No, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So they're gonna be in
7,
the 7th
8, 9,
spot.
and 10.
Yes.
Wow, they won
7
one.
against 10, 8 against 9. That's what's gonna happen.
Come on, NBA's on some
Yeah, they
bullshit.
don't.
Mhm.
The NBA tripping with that. Yeah.
All I'm saying is that Manny just said they could go 500 until they return. They're doing that.
Yeah, they're actually.
said
they're
they
one
were-
game under 500.
You
right
said
now.
you were talking like they were just not going to win games at all.
I said that they were gonna be in the playoff game, and I stand by that.
Okay.
The Pelicans and the Warriors right now are fighting for that 10th spot. I can see the Pelicans take that though.
Mm-mm.
They only one game.
I don't
behind.
know because I'm trying to read the room when it comes to
I don't
the
think
Warriors.
the Warriors
and
are
stuff.
playing for that. I think
Yeah,
the Warriors
Draymond
are-
already said. He was
I
like,
did. I think they
"Man."
cool getting another lottery pick.
Yeah, he was like,
I think so too.
I think
so,
think
too.
Kerr and Wiseman need to work out whatever issues they got.
You think they beefing?
I think there's some going on.
Has to be, right? Because it doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense. Like there was a game last week where he didn't even start. Like I just don't understand it.
He's
Like,
not playing that guy at all. So I don't know if it's his work ethic or something going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. But
Yeah.
something's amiss. Yeah, something ain't right. So
Yeah.
Steph is gone.
I agree.
you think he's out?
His he's unrestricted free agent.
What,
in
you-
2022.
Who?
Yep. Steph. So if he
I
don't,
think
to
Steph
me,
going-
if he don't resign this year,
I
he
don't
gone.
think Steph going anywhere, man. I don't think Steph going anywhere because I don't think the narrative around Steph is the same as it would be like a LeBron or a KD. Like Steph doesn't get judged by championships in that regard. Plus he already has his championships. So I don't think it's the same. I think Steph stays with the Warriors, man. I don't see Steph chasing rings like that. Like I don't know, maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think he wants to be losing like this though.
Yeah, it's not about chasing rings because he already got 3, so he good.
It's like Kobe when he asked for
Yeah.
his trade.
This
Like
is-
he already had 3 titles.
Yeah.
Yeah, him leaving would be something completely different. Like I don't like the direction
Yeah.
the team is going. You know, maybe
They'd have to make him mad. That's what I think.
I think he waits out whatever happens with Klay Thompson. I think Klay.
He been waiting too long, bro.
I agree with
That's
that.
2 years he been waiting.
I still think
And he
I
lost-
agree with
It's
Manny
not
on
And he
that.
lost the
Klay
finals
Thompson
because of
got
that.
Hurt. Yeah, Klay Thompson got hurt. Yeah, they lost the championship and then they lost now 2 years now subsequent because of that. But I think him and Klay have a tight relationship, so I don't see them trying. Like I think he would see what Klay is coming back from injury before he would just say hey,
That light skin love don't last long, bro. I'll let you
Hey,
know that right now.
And hey, full disclosure, I don't know what I'm talking about here. He could be traded. He could be gone tomorrow. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't think that's gonna happen, but who knows? Could be
I
wrong.
don't know.
He has no reason to win, man. Leave. He's already won his championships. He's beloved in the city. There's
You wouldn't want him if he said I want to go to Charlotte.
no,
He's an
I
icon
ain't,
there, man.
I wouldn't be mad at him if he left. I just don't think he'd have a reason to leave.
I just know you and Manny be wrong.
He's an
a lot,
icon there.
so
I don't.
know.
Yeah, that's what.
Let's
I'm,
see.
Who going with lot? What I've been wrong about? Let's go. In Marty Cole
Hey, did y'all
words,
talk-
Joe Burrow still ain't good.
Why I gotta
Did
take
y'all
that
talk
shot?
about Deshaun? I know I joined the show late.
What
Did y'all
I've been
talk
wrong
Deshaun?
about?
It's been a lot.
Let's
we
list
don't, we
them.
don't, we, look,
Let's
that's a whole,
Hey,
that's
we're
a
gonna
whole
go
nother
back.
2
We're gonna go
hours.
back through my takes because I'm telling you, boy,
That's
if
a
I
whole
ain't
2
right
hours.
on, we gonna see.
Because he be taking both sides.
Yeah, boy,
Nothing-
you like
nothing is
you
worse-
like
Ken is
you like
the one that said LaMelo was trash.
He's
Nothing
still,
is worse than
because
Nick.
you know.
The Wizards winning 52 games. Man, I
Wizards
still can't
winning
get over that
50
one.
games.
Hold on, I've conceded on that point. All right, but it's
no,
tied. It's
you
tied.
gotta
It's
weigh that
tied
on
with
the
the
fact-
I ain't
Warriors.
gonna let FIFA
Nah.
off either now. Kelly Oubre being the glue guy.
Sheldon, you got some shit too. I'm gonna gotta look back on the tapes.
Yeah, we're gonna look back at my tapes.
I be killing mine. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Nah, but Sheldon, you be on the fence a lot, like Wilson off
You
of Home
do, bro.
Improvement. Nigga,
You
your ass
don't.
be
You
on
don't
that damn
take a
fence.
side. You don't take a side one way or the other.
He be hedging the fuck out of his bets. Bro.
I was
You
trying
take
to
a-
think.
you
I've been
take a
trying to
side on
think.
Carolina issues. You take a side on Carolina issues. Anything involved?
I
with
am.
Carolina, you take a
I'm
side.
still mad about Darnold.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
don't
like
have to get used to him. That's your boy.
Remember
mad
he
at
hyped up Teddy Bridgewater?
I'm mad at Manny because I feel like Manny had
This
something to
man
do with
spent,
this.
like, I don't know how countless weeks hyping up Teddy Bridgewater.
I
Teddy
did.
Bridgewater a winner.
I was wrong
Oh,
about
y'all
that.
gonna see. Teddy Bridgewater. Oh, woo, woo,
Yeah,
woo.
Teddy Bridgewater at
He
best.
turned on Teddy.
No, I didn't know. I didn't turn on Teddy till tonight. Tonight is the first time I'm admitting that Teddy was not. True story. This is the first time I'm admitting that Teddy was not the answer, but I still would rather have Teddy than Darnold.
You know
I'd
what?
rather
You
give
should
Teddy a
believe
And that's
second
where
one.
he gonna be wrong again.
Watch Darnold ball out for his ass.
Please let me be wrong this
If he
time.
ball out,
Hey,
this nigga's
Sheldon.
like, look, I told y'all,
What do
look.
you mean this time you been wrong?
No.
Hey,
About
Sheldon,
what?
you really should
Teddy,
believe Deshaun
you just
Watson.
admitted.
No, I said let me be wrong again this time. I'm sorry.
And
Again.
then that's how he said you. Because he be like, I told y'all I wanted to be wrong.
I want
All right.
yeah, I saved it just now. Didn't I? Let me be wrong this time. Please be wrong about
Sheldon,
Darnold.
The only person you have to blame is Deshaun Watson, man. Deshaun Watson started touching women allegedly, and that
Yeah,
fumbled the bag on in terms of the trade value. So
that's true.
you had to settle for Sam Darnold, man.
The only saving grace about Deshaun Watson is that he signed that contract before all this came out.
Yeah.
Outside of that, it
But
is
can
what
they
it is.
void the contract?
The rest of it? But he got his upfront money.
Did he get his? Yeah, he got his signing bonus.
I wonder if
also,
they can
man.
come back for that signing bonus because they have on some players though.
They have.
They-
Vic-
they'll-
didn't
you know,
come
they
back
could
on-
try, but-
didn't
They
come back
could,
on
but
Vic?
like at that point, it's just like if you don't have to pay him the rest and shit.
Here's my thing. I don't want to get too heavy.
Yeah,
into it.
yeah,
I just have a question about it because what Kyle posted in, shout out to 12 Kyle. So apparently to get on the exemption list, you have to have charges filed and their investigation finds something, right, that you violated the policy. My question is about the charges. What type of charges? Are they criminal charges or just the
I think
lawsuit?
they're going into criminal charges.
So if there's
Criminal
no,
charges,
if there are no criminal charges filed, then they can't put him on the list.
Not yet. That's why I think
Mhm.
they don't have him on that list
So
yet.
if Busby don't file criminal charges against Sam Darnold,
But if police are investigating, it's out of his hands, isn't it?
Yeah, because the police, I think the Houston PD did say they were.
okay, yeah, I
they
did
in
see
it.
that. I did see that. Okay,
They in it now. So,
but
And then NFL came out and said like.
but I don't know how.
but sometimes
I don't
these
know how.
organizations, these police departments don't find enough evidence to file charges.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't know how they can charge them unless there's messages.
They got to have messages. They got the testimonies, and like I think some of those stories are super detailed. So I think that's what is
Yeah.
also helping. So
Mm.
as long as they got some message, like they have to have messages.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
have to.
No, I
yeah.
read something somewhere that there are messages. There's like Instagram DMs and stuff like that out already. I don't know. I honestly haven't been reading too much.
Paul
of the details
Pierce.
'cause It's crazy.
Oh yeah.
man.
Man.
Hey, the truth.
Man.
What?
Yeah, man.
Shall set you free.
And
It shall, boy.
I don't know if that's being set free or let go.
Man.
Hey, same thing, baby.
What in the world
My nigga was off the
he
was off the
thinking?
Duce. That's what it do
I
to
don't
you.
follow him.
That's
Yeah.
what
I
it do.
follow him
Hey,
on Instagram.
hey.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
follow him
either.
on Instagram. Dude,
I
does
don't follow him either.
does he do this regularly?
Nah.
Nah, and you know what was funny? I just saw a meme that says, "Man, Paul Pierce got fired for 315 IG live people."
Oh,
Yeah, I saw
yes.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't. I hope they lying.
Yeah.
To be honest, man, and y'all tell me if y'all agree. I think that there's something behind this. I think that he did that on purpose. I don't see how.
Why?
I don't know.
What is
I-
it?
let me explain why I say that.
All right, go ahead.
Maybe there was an issue with him and ESPN already. And this man was planning to quit.
No. I think you're looking too deep into the
Too
Celtics.
deep for the
Look,
intro.
you know what happened? Like Duce said, he was off the Duce.
You think so?
He was champagning and campaigning and forgot the rules of the game.
Yes.
Right? You don't fucking display that shit for nobody. You take some video and shit, you show your boy in person, but you don't put that shit for the world to see. Because at the end of the day, he is signed to ESPN. You know what I'm saying? That is a very public company. And they're not advertising strippers on their goddamn platform.
And I think I read a statement Disney said.
Owned by Disney.
Disney said, like, I think they were like, if he didn't post it himself, they would have been like, all right,
he'd have been okay.
They would have excused it.
He's there, but he's not doing it.
Yeah, like if he's doing something on his private time and someone records him, then you can't fault him for that. But the fact that he actually posted it himself, i.e., being a jackass, that's why. But that nigga he went out. If you gonna go out, you gotta go out like that. You know what I'm saying?
But didn't he come right after and say something about his own business coming soon or something like that?
Every nigga's always.
What else he gonna
There's
say?
There's rumors that like Pornhub or somebody's, or not Pornhub, but
He got a cannabis business, right?
No, something either Barstool or somebody.
Yeah, somebody they was gonna pay him $250,000.
Somebody paying him $1 million to like talk about sports when naked ladies are around or something like that. I don't know, kind of capitalizing on this or whatever. Who knows, man? I don't know. It was freaking dumb. Like, it was stupid, man. What are you doing?
It was
and then it's worse because it's Paul Pierce. You an OG, like you should know better.
That's my point, Manny.
This ain't a 26-year-old. This ain't Jamal Murray. Like,
that's my point.
It's Paul Pierce.
You're retired.
What are you doing?
Yeah, you've been through this. You done seen it all at this point. So that's why I'm saying what I'm saying. That's the only reason.
I'm telling you, Shelton. I'm telling you, when you off the Duce, bro, you don't. the
Hey,
fucks is out the window.
Too, I know, but still, yeah, man, you gotta have more.
And he in LA, he was had cushion in the air, like that nigga was having a ball.
Yeah, he was having a good time.
I don't know. I saw one when he had the blood thing on, or the I don't even know what to call it, the barber shit on or whatever. It did smoke.
So he was at a barbershop?
Nah, he was. I don't know. He was at somebody's crib. They was
That
playing
was somebody's house, right?
It was like they was gambling.
They playing poker.
He was getting a haircut though, too.
That's what it
he
looked
had
like.
a smock on.
Oh, like the barbershop.
Well, they probably come cut hair at the crib out there because that's nothing.
Right.
So they probably had a barber come to the crib, but when he asked for a massage, all I could think
of
was
Deshaun. And
Deshaun.
FIFO guy, they looked like they was with Paul Pierce that night.
Nah. No lady in tramps where we at.
Nah. That's why Paul Pierce is like, I am not married. I'm like, all right, bro, what are you doing? Like,
and then the whole turkeys. We love ladies from turkeys or something. Come on, Paul. He was gone, bro. Like, come on, Paul.
I think the only thing I give him, like, Sheldon, as far as the conspiracy thing, I think it was just like he knew his contract was up. They probably told him that they may not re-sign him. He just didn't give a fuck.
That could have been it.
I don't think it was anything more deep than that, if anything. But I also just think that he just fucked up. Everybody fuck up.
He's an idiot.
Yeah. Like I said, I was thinking maybe how people quit. Some people quit their jobs different kind of ways. Like F y'all. I'm out. That's how it looked to me. Like because that ain't a mistake of that
Because
Because
he
you know
was a
what?
regular nigga, but he's Paul Pierce.
Because I think if that
quit.
was the case, Shelton, the imagery would have been more egregious to make sure that you gonna get rid of me.
I mean, how more egregious can you get?
Yeah.
You throwing chips on a fat ass that's bouncing in the back.
I didn't see the whole thing.
Yeah.
I gotta show you the video, bro.
I didn't
That
see the
nigga
whole
They
video.
was tossing chip, bro.
Yeah.
They was having a ball.
Yeah, they had a good time, man.
They had,
Just
it was
search
one
for the
time,
story.
this girl was just bouncing the
for the story,
titties as he was talking.
Oh yeah, I didn't see the whole thing.
Hey,
So
bro.
let me back out right now. I didn't see the whole thing.
That nigga was
Yeah, you gotta see
clouded.
the whole thing, bro.
Yeah,
You gotta see
look,
the whole thing
yeah.
because it's scandalous, bro. I'm like,
Okay, well I'll take that back. Shelton.
as soon as I saw that shit, I was like, oh yeah, he about to.
As
be
soon
out
as
the
I
league.
seen his hand on his forehead talking about some, man, y'all, it's crazy, bro. I was like, my nigga gone.
You know what time was it?
My nigga gone.
As soon as I saw the strippers in the background, I was like, yeah, he done, bro.
Once I saw the lady in the background,
Like I said, when he asked for the massage, this ain't the time for massages, bro.
I saw the blunt and I saw the
That's what
strippers
I
in the
was worried
background.
about.
Yeah, it was
No
over.
massages.
It was over.
Mm-mm.
It was
Yeah,
over
they're
there.
gonna get
Disney,
okay.
Disney was Bob Iger was like, nah, we gotta get this dude out of here.
Mm-mm.
Nah.
All right, well, we're gonna get out of here, y'all. We thank you guys for coming through once again and hanging out, kicking it with us. But yeah, we'll be back Thursday.
Hey, real quick, man, I'm gonna give a shout out to Benjamin Cano in the chat. Benjamin Cano just committed to play college basketball, man. Shout out to you.
Shout out to
Hey,
him, man.
that's big time no matter what. To play at the next level and to be going to college. I'm proud of you, and it's good to have young people in the chat. Man, we appreciate
sir.
you. And that's dope.
Is he going to Gonzaga to get coached up?
He go to Gonzaga to get coached up. That's where you need to go. Hey, and another thing I failed to mention real quick. Shout out to Hubert Davis. Carolina just signed Hubert Davis, the first black head coach in Carolina history.
Turn the stream off.
Our biggest fan, Manny, was happy about that. Let me say this real quick on college basketball. My last thing. That wasn't my first choice for coach, but I wish him well.
Who would you want to get hired?
I would have rather had gotten Wes Miller from UNC Greensboro. He has head coaching experience. He's a Carolina guy. He's good. They mentioned even Mark Few coming to Carolina, which I didn't think that was a possibility. But
yes, please do.
I would have went to Carolina if I was Mark Few, and I would have loved to have him if I was Carolina. But they like to do it in house. Even Jerry Stackhouse is a little more fiery. Hubert Davis is a great recruiter, but he's laid back. And that's the last one.
Warren Weston Miller? Is that the guy?
Who is that?
Warren Weston Miller?
Who is that?
Is that the coach you were talking about you wanted?
Oh, no, Wes Miller.
Yeah, well, I guess that's his whole name.
Wes Miller from UNC Greensboro.
Damn, can't you Google this whole government?
It just popped up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just saying if he was white or black.
He was white. But he's a good coach. He's a really good coach.
Damn, about that, man.
I know. Yeah. That's why I put Jerry Stackhouse in there. I like Jerry Stackhouse.
I think Jerry Stackhouse
train y'all well in North Carolina.
Yeah. Hey, did we mention that we don't want Sam Darnold in Carolina? Did I say that?
I'm telling you, I have a sneaky feeling Sam Darnold's gonna ball for y'all.
Hey, man, if he does, I will eat crow. I'm telling you, I'll be wrong, and I love to be wrong.
I know what's going to happen. Sam Darnold's going to turn into Aaron Rodgers in Carolina, and Zach Wilson's going to break his neck first game against the Jets.
Yeah, I'm really worried about this.
Damn, man, your expectations is all the way at the hell. They start at hell. How they go up? God damn, shit. Forget the ground floor. You at hell.
Hey, remember this episode, man. I'm telling you right now, right? Sam Darnold's going to go to Carolina and ball out, and Zach Wilson. You know, it'd be worse. Zach Wilson will actually show flashes of brilliance, and then he'll get hurt. He'll break a damn arm. His throwing shoulder will be dislocated in 6 parts or whatever, and he'll never see the field again. And then the Jets fumbled that too. It's Jets, man. I mean, I'm used to it. Man, so it is what it is.
That's your Jets report this week.
All right, man. We'll catch you guys later. We out. Peace.
Peace.
Peace.